Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish Water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
Good afternoon and welcome to session 12 here at Glasgow Tollcross for the Saturday session finals of this year's Scottish National Age Group Championships. My name's John Munsey and I'm delighted to be joined tonight by Hannah Miley, triple Olympian, Scottish and GB international, many times over, multiple world, European, Commonwealth medals, not to mention lots and lots of Scottish titles along the way. Hannah, you're very welcome. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me, bringing back lots of memories being back here in Tollcross.
Great. So we've got a very varied programme tonight. You're just seeing our officials come on to poolside. And there it is for you. As I speak, we're going to start off with the girls' 200-metre individual medley. That will bring back some memories for Hannah, I'm sure. Boys 200 freestyle. Then we've got the girls and boys 100-metre butterfly, some sprint backstroke finals, boys 400-metre individual medley, and then at the end, mixed 4x100 medley relay. Hannah, anything you're particularly looking forward to tonight?
Probably a little bit biased. I'm very excited for the medley races. I always think it's really quite fascinating to see race strategies and seeing how the swimmers, these age group swimmers, coming through. Especially off the back of the last 2-3 years, you know, with a lot of disruption and how the medley goes. I find it's never the person who touches first on the first 50 that'll end up winning it overall. So, yeah, really looking forward to kind of seeing what races we've got coming up with those events.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, particularly through the heats, and it's fascinating to know that this is day 4, but it'll be the first time we've seen a final in the boys event. So we've not seen the boys 200 IM is tomorrow, so the boys 400 tonight. So we've not actually seen a final in that event yet. And the girls, I think all 3 gold medalists from the 400 IM are going in the girls event. So again, or all 5, I think, gold medalists are going in the girls. So we've got a little bit of history in terms of how these people are swimming. But I think your point is absolutely valid. First snags that we've had for 3 years. A lot of time out of the water for many of our younger swimmers, and indeed for the younger swimmers who we'll see first of all in the first set of finals. This will be their first snags.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that, and especially for this first final coming up, you know, 13, those kids will have been, you know, maybe 10 or 11 years of age when lockdown had first hit. So, you know, just maybe on the outside bracket of making snags. So for them, this is quite a big, impactful meet. I remember being 13 and, yeah, having to keep up to date with schoolwork as well, trying to, you know, sit with my study books as well as swimming was always quite a key thing. But no, certainly it should be a really good race. And as I say, the girls that have come through with the medals in the 400, see how they manage in this 200.
Yeah, and the other factor, of course, is this is day 4 of a 5-day event. For many of them, they'll never have competed for this long. Usually it will have been just a 2-day event in the district championships. So again, getting to grips with that as well.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a heavy program, and you know, fatigue can certainly set in by day 4, certainly, and especially for the boys in the 400 IM. Whoever thought it was a good idea sticking a 400 IM towards the end of a competition? It's not great.
I'm glad I just off and out, Hannah. I can't claim anything around that. So swimmers are on poolside now for our first event. This is the girls 11 to 13 final, 200-metre individual medley. Lane 0, Chloe Kurt, Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 1, Leona Bedborough from Incas. Lane 2, Gina Wren from City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Jessica Kirkwood, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Evie Mackey from South Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Zara Kravitz, East Lothian. Lane 6, Emmy Aitken from Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Molly Irvine Watson from Stranraer. Lane 8, Kate Nolan, Warren de Bass. And lane 9, Madison Stewart, Aberdeen Performance. Just a slight delay on the start here. Just a reminder that we do have the gold, silver and bronze medalists from the 400 IM. Emmy Aitken in lane 6 being the gold medalist. Zara Kravitz winning the silver in 5, and Evie Mackey bronze in 4. Let's see how it plays out in this shorter event in the 200. Fingers crossed we can get away second time. And here we go, our first final of the night, event 421, the girls 11 to 13, 200 metres individual medley. We're certainly keen to see Hannah's point earlier of who touches the first at the end of the fly and whether or not that remains the same, but it's the two middle lanes. Evie Mackey in 4, Zara Kravitz in 5, leading the way down the first 50.
Yeah, the two girls in the golden lanes at the middle at the minute, they've got the two fastest qualifying times into this final. At the minute, looks like it's a swimmer in lane 5, Zara, who's just going to be touching first.
Yeah, East Lothian swimmer Zara Kravitz having a very good snags. Just turns just slightly ahead of Evie Mackey in 2 in lane 4. Third place lane 6 for Emmy Aitken, just ahead of Jessica Kirkwood in lane 3 as they turn on to the second discipline, the backstroke.
So here we'll start seeing a little bit of change in order just before we coming into the breaststroke leg. That's possibly where we're going to see the biggest shift in who's leading. But at the minute, Zara still seems to be holding pretty strong. But on the outside lane there, Madison from Aberdeen Performance seems to be holding pretty strong as well. But it is very much Zara and Evie coming into the halfway point.
Zara turns first, 1:11.78, 39.64 on that. So she was the fastest on the backstroke. Second fastest was Evie. Not surprisingly, they turned first and second. And the Aberdeen Performance swimmer in lane 9, Madison Stewart, going well in third place.
Now here's where we may see a little bit of a change in the order. Breaststroke is kind of one of those strokes where if you're very strong and connected, you can really power through. But again, if the timing is slightly off, if you overcooked it in that first half, you can really start paying the price here. But Zara at the minute is still leading the way, holding very, very strong here.
Yeah, she's looking very strong. That lead that she had is certainly not being diminished by Evie. Evie working hard but not closing the gap at all, and Zara's going to have a very nice lead to take on to the last leg of freestyle. She turns first, 1:56.86. Second place Evie Mackey, she was 2 seconds slower. She's got a lot to make up on the last 50. Zara Kravitz looking very strong.
We now see there's a bit of a change for that third position. There's going to be a fight, I think, for the third place finish, but at the minute, the leader, Zara, doesn't look like she's going to be challenged too much for this position, and Evie's holding strong for second, but third place, it's going to be very strong between 3 girls here.
Aberdeen Performance, Jessica Kirkwood in 3, Gina Wren in 2 on this side, Emmy Aitken in 6. But there's no doubt about the winner, it is Zara Kravitz, 2:33.72 for Zara. Second place will be Evie Mackey in lane 4, and the touch does go to Aberdeen Performance's Jessica Kirkwood in third place in lane 3, 2:40.89, just 0.09 of a second, ahead of the fourth place swimmer, who was Emmy Aitken in lane 6, representing Aberdeen Performance as well.
Some nice drops from their heat swims. Zara there dropping 6 seconds. And also for the Aberdeen Performance swimmer, Jessica just getting that touch there, 0.09. So it goes to show that finish, head down for the last 5 meters, really reaching for the wall, paying dividends in the final placings for that race.
Yep, no breathing in the red zone, just get that touch, and a bronze medal at Snags is a fantastic achievement.
Hugely.
Just waiting for that result to be confirmed. And there it is, our gold medalist, Zara Kravitz from East Lothian, 2:33.72. Silver goes to Evie Mackey from South Lanarkshire, and bronze to Jessica Kirkwood from Aberdeen Performance. Our finalists for our next event, which is the girls' 14-year-old 200-metre individual medley, lane 0, Sydney Boyd from Midlothian, lane 1, Melissa Menny, City of Glasgow, lane 2, Freya Beaton, City of Glasgow, lane 3, Phoebe Arbuckle from Warrender, lane 4, Kiana Kutzer from Warrender, lane 5, Neem Savarai from Newcastle, lane 6, Coco Croxford, City of Glasgow, lane 7, Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow, lane 8, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow, and lane 9, Rosie Heaps, Foldhouse. Your finalists for the 14-year-old girls 200-metre individual medley final. So Kiana Kutzer having an outstanding championship. 5 gold medals already, I think, for Kiana. Won the 400 IM, so we'll see what she can do here. Two swimmers in the golden lanes, 4 and 5, have a little bit of a gap on qualification times. Kiana Kutzer in 4, Warren DeBass. Niamh Savarai in 5 from Newcastle. We'll see how the race pans out.
Girls have a great start there, really nice underwater and transitioning into the full stroke on fly. The minute we've got 3 girls in the middle that seem to be just edging ahead of the rest of the field. Nice strong dynamic strokes here as they're coming into the turn.
It's very close up the first 50. It's actually lane 5 ahead of lane 6 and 4. So it didn't look like that. It looked like lane 4 had it, Kiana, but it wasn't. It was Niamh in 5, Coco in 6, Kiana in 4, very close. 4th place for lane 2, Freya Beaton as they turn onto the back.
That's what it is about those little competitive elements. You know, head down into the wall to touch, making sure that you still keep that momentum going into the wall, making sure you're not losing speed so you can get that efficiency around the turn.
Kiana going very strongly down this second 50, the Warren DeBass swimmer, and she's going to turn definitely this time in the lead. It's going to be close for second, but Coco Croxford is going to turn second ahead of Niamh Savarai. 1:07.95 for Kiana. 2-second lead nearly over Coco. Now onto the breaststroke. Will we see a change in the order going up here? Lane 5 swimmer Niamh Savarai working hard to try and get back on terms.
Very much so. She's still just holding that lead, but at the minute we're seeing Kiana starting to make her move a little bit more. Apologies, I think that might have been Niamh. Yes, it was Niamh. Niamh from Newcastle starting to pull away from Coco from Glasgow.
But down in front, still Kiana Kutzer, the red hat, Warren DeBass swimmer, been very strong all week, and she can have a nice lead into the last 50. Niamh working hard, moved into second place. Coco just tearing a little bit up that breaststroke leg. As they turn, it's Kiana Kutzer in first place, Warren DeBass, lane 4. In 5, Niamh Savarai, Newcastle second. Coco Croxford, City of Glasgow in 3rd in lane 6. Don't think there's going to be much change down this last 50.
No, I think we pretty much have our 1, 2, 3 here. So for these guys, it'll be looking at what times they can come in, but as well, really fighting right the way to the finish, because it's a 200-meter race. You know, we don't stop at 175. So these girls will be wanting to try and really push themselves right to the very end. So again, head down, nice, no breathing there from Kiana as she takes the win.
And a nice improvement, 2:27.48, so about a second and a half faster than the heat swim. Second place for Newcastle's Niamh Savarai. 3rd place, City of Glasgow's Coco Croxford. Ahead of teammate Freya Beaton in lane 2, who finished 4th. Another excellent swim for a very, very young, talented swimmer from Warrender, Kiana Kutzer.
It's lovely seeing how many smiling faces there are at the end of each of these races. A lot of these kids really, really excited to be back in racing and getting the opportunity to, you know, be up against the best age group swimmers in Scotland.
So we move on now to our next event, event 401, which is the girls 15 to 18, 200-metre individual medley finals. First of all, in the 15 age group, lane 0, Cassie Wiper, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Charlotte Thompson from Midlothian. Lane 3, Kirsty Neal from Bishop Stortford. Lane 4, Susie McNair from First. Lane 5, Charlotte Hardy, South Ayrshire. Lane 6, Zoe Crawford from First. Lane 7, Tegan Black, East Lothian. Lane 8, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow. And lane 9, Talia Blackley, City of Glasgow. Your finalists for the 15-year-old girls 200-metre individual medley final. Fastest qualifier, Susie McNair from First, 2:30 dead in the heats this morning. Also won the gold in the 400, so see how she can make it an IM double here. She started off well, along with the swimmer in 6, which is Zoe Crawford, and in lane 8, Heidi Wren, so blue caps dominating at the minute. first in City of Glasgow. Also coming through well in the Midlothian swimmer in the green cap in lane 2, Charlotte Thompson. But Susie McNair touches first, 31.9. Heidi Wren second, 31.97 in lane 8. Zoe Crawford first in lane 6 as they flip onto the backstroke.
That was a great turn there from Heidi, really utilising the underwater work there. Came up in about second position, and I think she's just holding on to that. I think if anything she's starting to catch up Susie a little bit.
Yeah, good race this one, a good final, also going well in lane 6. Zoe Crawford, we know Charlotte Hardy in lane 5's got an excellent breaststroke, but she's leaving herself a lot to do. We'll see if it changes in that, but Susie McNair leading this one out in lane 4. She touches first, fastest comfortably on the backstroke. Second place in lane 8, Heidi Wren. Third place, lane 6, Zoe Crawford, as they move on to the breaststroke leg.
Again, another really strong turn there from Heidi out in lane 8. That turn just pulled her ahead of Susie, but Susie now is just taking the lead back from her on the swim. Again, breaststroke leg, probably one of the most deciding legs within the medley.
The first team sat very close to us. You may well hear them get behind their swimmer tonight, Susie McNair. Lane 4, she's led this one out from the start. She's starting to pull away a little bit. The field closing up behind her. The race is on for silver and bronze. Charlotte Hardy coming back in lane 5, coming back in lane 3, Kirsty Hill from Bishop Stortford. But Susie McNair turns with a very nice lead, 1:52.18, 2 seconds ahead of the nearest competitor.
That was a great swim from Charlotte there, really pulled it back into the mix now. Coming down this last 50, it's going to be a bit of a bun fight coming in for the second and third position here, but again we've got Heidi out in lane 8, being challenged by Tegan in lane 7 from East Lothian. Those two girls might be pulling ahead for their second and third favourite, but the winner at the minute, Susie McNair, is definitely coming home the clear favourite.
And she brings this one under the flags. Let's look at the time. It's going to be faster than the heat. 2:26.03 for Susie. Heidi Wren, great swim for silver medal from lane 8 and bronze from lane 7 from Tegan Black. Tegan won gold this afternoon in the 800, so she's very busy here. East Lothian's Tegan Black for bronze. Silver goes to Heidi Wren of Glasgow, and the gold to first Susie McNair. She looks very happy.
That was a really nice race from those girls. For the 15-year-old age group, I find that they've missed out the last 3 years of being able to race at snags. So for some of them, this is their first opportunity of getting that exposure and experience. So not just about times, but just getting that experience of getting back into racing and learning a lot from their swim. So it's not just about what you see on the scoreboard, but how you apply yourself. And certainly Heidi and Tegan, they're really showing that competitive spirit right towards the end of the race.
Yeah, the other thing we talked about earlier, Hannah, we touched on it, that the lack of long course availability and the lack of pool time generally for a lot of these swimmers. They're back in the pool, but they don't have the same pool time as had before. Very little experience of swimming long course times. So just a great opportunity, a great learning experience for all our swimmers this week. Hugely,
really, really beneficial. And I know from my age just now, I'm 32, but when I was their age at 15, we didn't have that much access to a long course facility, so you do have to make do with what you've got and really utilize listening to your coach, working with your program. And there's nothing wrong with being able to train in a 25-meter pool, 25-yard, 33 and a third. All those facilities that we have available at the minute, just making use of the time that we got.
Here we go with our first set of presentations done by Jamie Nelson, West District President and Council Member for Sasa. And our first one in the 13-year-old bronze medalist is Jessica Kirkwood from Aberdeen Performance. And in the 14 age group, our bronze medalist is Coco Croxford from City of Glasgow. Moving on to the 13-year-old age group, silver medalist from South Lanarkshire, Evie Mackey. And in the 14 age group from Newcastle, Niamh Savarai. And our gold medalist and Scottish national champion in the 13 age group from East Lothian, Zara Kravitz. And the gold medalist and Scottish age group champion in our 14-year-old for the women girls 200 IM is Kiana Kutsa. Both girls having outstanding championships. Zara from East Lothian, Kiana from Warrender. Separate trophy being presented to Zara. Quite sure what that one's for, but Nice to see so many happy, smiling faces on the blocks.
I love that. They're really making the most of the opportunity of getting into racing, meeting their friends again, and just the power of being able to be back competing, I think, is just hugely, hugely valuable.
So now back into the pool, and this is the 16-year-old final. Lane 0, Eleanor Ross from Highland. Lane 1, Alice Mackey, part of Midlothian. Lane 2, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. Lane 3, Melissa Mainwaring, West Lothian. Lane 4, Chloe Bound from Bath University. Lane 5, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 6, Amy McLeod, City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian. Lane 8, Jessica Heaps, Foldhouse. And Lane 9, Ella Chalmers from Itham. So here we go for our 16-year-old final. Silver medalist from the 400, Amy McLeod, goes in 6. Bronze medalist Melissa Mainwaring goes in 3. Chloe Bound from Bath University is a non-Scot, so she will not be able to be Scottish age group champion. She's going very well up this first 50 alongside Melissa Mainwaring in lane 3, West Lothian. Two swimmers in lanes 3 and 4, ahead of in lane 5, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics.
Strong first 50 there from Melissa.
29.85 she turns. Chloe Bound in second place in lane 4, Lucy Stoves in lane 5 third. Kirsty Gilmore going well, South Lanarkshire swimmer in lane 2. But coming down this second 50, Melissa Mainwaring qualified as the third fastest into this final tonight, but she's going out very strongly in this first half of the race. We'll see what happens on the breaststroke leg, but it looks like she's going to turn with a nice lead at the halfway point. But it'll be very close for second, going well in lane 8, Jessica Heaps from Foldhouse. 4 swimmers in a line for second, I think.
Bit of a tight turn there from Melissa, not quite hitting the full stride of the stroke coming into that. Might have just given away a little bit of that distance, but she's still up there in the lead for now.
Well, the girls are coming back, certainly in the middle. Chloe Bound in lane 4, Lucy Stoves in 5. Both excellent breaststrokers, and they're really starting to attack Melissa Mainwaring down this third 50. 4th place for lane 2 for Kirsty Gilmore, but it's going to be very tight coming into this last turn. Lane 3, Melissa Mainwaring. Lane 4, Chloe Bound. Lane 5, Lucy Stoves. Right across the pool, these 3 swimmers separated by very little, with 50 metres to go as they come under the flags for their last turn.
This is a very tight finish here from these girls. 200 medley is kind of known as an extended sprint, you know, just 1 length on each stroke, so it's trying to hit the pace as quick as possible, but still have the endurance to be able to bring it home very, very strong. So at the minute, I think it's Chloe from
Bath University.
Yeah, she's taking it down this last 50 and starting to pull away.
Yeah, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics going well in 5. She's trying to hold off Melissa Mainwaring to finish top Scot. But it is going to be Bath University's Chloe Bound who's going to take this. She's going to be well under her heat time, 2:26.43. 2nd place for Lucy Stoves and 3rd place for Melissa Mainwaring. That's your 1, 2, 3. Strong finish from Amy McLeod in lane 6 for 4th place. There we have the confirmed result. Chloe Bound, first, Bath University, 2:26.43. 2nd, Lucy Stoves, but she will be Scottish champion. And in 3rd place, Melissa Mainwaring. As we welcome on to poolside our swimmers for our final in the 200 metres IM. 17-18 age group. Lane 0, Naomi Maguire representing City of Leicester. Lane 1, Mary Craig, Stirling. Lane 2, teammate Isabel Wood, also from Stirling. Lane 3, Scarlett Ferris, Perth City. Lane 4, Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Amy Watson, Inverclyde. Lane 6, Nuala Gow from Geary. Lane 7, Erin Taylor from Finns. Lane 8, Olivia Mason, Warren de Baths. And lane 9, teammate Fenrada McGregor, also from Warren de Baths. Your finalists for the 17-18 girls 200 metre individual medley. Fastest qualifier into the final, Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow, 2:25.4. Drew having an excellent week again at Snags. Hot off a really strong performance last week down in Sheffield in the British Championships, and she's leading this one out in lane 4. Also going well in lane 3, Scarlett Ferris, lane 5, Amy Watson.
Really nice stroke there from Drew. Nice high rate, nice high stroke in the water, keeping it nice and flat and smooth. She coming into this turn, a nice full stroke, nice quick turn, making use of the underwaters there.
28.8 for Drew. Amy Watson in second place, 29.56. We know that Amy's got a very good breaststroke. Scarlett Ferris in third place, but we know Scarlett's very strong on the backstroke. The Perth City swimmer in lane 3 with the red cap. But Drew Mackenzie controlling this one from the front and looking very strong down this second 50. Scarlett coming onto her, but it is her best stroke on the back. And I think Drew at the halfway point will feel in a good position. Third place, possibly just Amy Watson in the middle. Inverclyde swimmer in lane 5. No doubt Drew Mackenzie touching first, had a Scarlett Ferris.
Fun fact there, Drew actually probably touched quicker than what I would do for my first 50 within the 200 IM. For me to just get under 29 seconds was always pretty challenging. So from here, she's just holding on to that lead from Scarlett on this breaststroke leg. But at the minute, we're seeing Amy now starting to eat away a little bit more at that lead.
Lane 1, Mary Craig, the bronze medalist from the 400 IM Stirling swim, coming through as well. So we might have an exciting last 50 metres. Drew Mackenzie, lane 4, City of Glasgow, coming through strongly in lane 5. Amy Watson from Inverclyde. Lane 3, Scarlett Ferris, Perth City. Amy Wood in, Mary Craig in 1 from Stirling. Amy touches first, 40.28, 3 seconds faster on that leg. Who's going to win down this last 50? What do you think, Hannah?
I think Amy might have it. Drew did come out quite quick off the blocks, but that's not to say that she's going to fight for it right the way to the end, and she is. She's actually starting to pull away, so I take that back. Drew's definitely pulling away a lot stronger now.
Great strength from the 17-year-old in lane 4. City Glasgow swimmer. A great IM room to work on her breaststroke, but overall this is going to be a tremendous swim, and she's going to bring it home under the flags and take the gold. And she touches first, 2:22.92 for Drew Mackenzie. Another really exciting young talent you're seeing here tonight in Glasgow. Second place, Amy Watson, 2:24 dead. Third place in lane 1 was Mary Craig from Stirling Swim, but she'll be pleased with that, Drew. I'm not sure we're going to get a smile for the camera. She's not looking. She's probably too tired, Hannah, after that.
She'll be reading the board and trying to process the times that she sees, and some swimmers might be looking for a bit more of a bigger improvement compared to what they did in the heats, but sometimes as well for this competition, again, you know, I keep saying it, the competition's not been here for the last 3 years, so it's not always about the time, the effort, the intent, the competitive skills are just as important as the times. So yes, you want to make that improvement, and she did do that improvement, but I'm sure she'll be looking for something else within that stroke as well, or within the event itself.
Yep, Scottish junior team member Drew Mackenzie. Another gold medal in the bag for Drew. Another win on the board for City of Glasgow, who continue to lead our team event comfortably. We are going to do some more presentations. These presentations are going to be done by Alison Shepherd, MBE, 5-time Olympian and life member of SASA. I thought. No, they're not. They're going to be done by Jamie Nelson again, West District President. So our bronze medalist representing East Lothian, Tegan Black. The 16-year-old age group, our bronze medalist representing West Lothian is Melissa Mainwaring. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group, City of Glasgow's Heidi Wren. The 16-year-old silver medalist from Dundee City Aquatics is Lucy Stoves. And our gold medalist is Scottish champion from first in the 15-year-old age group, Susie McNair. Our gold medalist in the 16-year-old age group will be Bath University's Chloe Bown. Our Scottish national champion in this event will be Lucy Stoves from Dundee City Aquatics. There's Lucy getting that gold medal. Chloe, being a non-Scot, not able to claim that title, so Lucy picks that one up. Our bronze medal winner in the 17-18 age group from Stirling Swim is Mary Craig. Silver medalist is Inverclyde's Amy Watson. The gold medalist from City of Glasgow, Scottish national age group champion Drew McKenzie. Great that we can now present the medals and we can see our swimmers smiling away without the need for masks. Long may that continue. Back to the pool, it'll be our first boys finals of the night. Event 422, the boys 200 metre freestyle. Another event, Hannah, I've seen you swim many times.
I do think the 200 free is starting to become a bit more of a blue ribboned event, you know, with the likes of Duncan Scott, Robbie Rennick, Dan Wallace, Stephen Milne. We've had so many really great Scottish 200 freestylers. So, you know, the 4x2 relay, the 200 freestyle individual, it's, you know, it's becoming one of Scotland's, I think, top male events.
Absolutely, and I'm sure there's a few young stars here who'll be hoping to make that Scottish senior in a few years' time. We've certainly got some good talent in this. You'll be very impressed, I think, when you see particularly some of the older finals as well. But these young boys, I'm sure, will be out to impress as well. First fight, 11 to 13. Lane 0, Owen Bicken from South Aberdeenshire. Lane 1, Aaron Machin, City Glasgow. Lane 2, Aaron Drake, Warren de Bass. Lane 3, Lachlan Small, Stirling Swim. Lane 4, Conor Aspinall, East Lothian. Lane 5, Archie MacArthur for Inverclyde. Lane 6, Dylan Mitchell, Warren de Bass. Lane 7, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. Lane 8, Fraser Gamble from First. And Lane 9, Kyle Russell, City of Glasgow. Your finalists in the 200 metre freestyle for the 11 to 13 age group boys. Fastest entry time into the final, East Lothian's Conor Aspinall. Very close on paper between Conor in 4, Archie on 5 in qualification. It's the two middle lanes, off to a good start.
Nice start as well from the swimmer out in lane 0, Owen. Being caught up a little bit now by the two golden lanes, but having a really strong start really helps set up the front end of this 200 freestyle.
There's the two lanes starting to come through. Conor Aspinall in 4, Archie MacArthur in 5. Third place of that turn, lane 6, Dylan Mitchell, ahead of Lachlan Small in 3. 29.39 down that first 50, so fairly quick for this age group, but these two boys looking at each other across the pool, stroke for stroke, down the second 50.
They are breathing in towards each other, aren't they? So that's a stare down coming into this halfway point. Yeah. We'll be finding out whether these two lads have maybe gone out just that little bit too quick, or who's got that 6th gear to be able to step up and bring it back in this second half of this swim.
Stroke rate's broadly the same as well. Connor Aspinall 34.02, Archie MacArthur 34.29 down that 50. Connor edging away, but there's not much in it. Third place in lane 3 for Lachlan Small. Fourth place in lane 6 for Dylan Mitchell. But Connor trying to get away from Archie and just trying to get a body length or more down this third 50, but Archie's not giving up without a big fight here. He's working hard.
He certainly is. He's given it everything he's got. And for the first half of the swim, turning in a 1:03, you want to be dropping off, you know, round about no more than 4 seconds. So as these boys race more 200 freestyles, they'll start trying to close that gap so it's not too much of a drop off.
But less than a second between the two. Connor Aspinall in 4, representing East Lothian. Archie MacArthur in the Clyde in 5. Has Archie got anything left, or is Connor going to bring this one home for the gold medal? Battle on for third in lane 3, Lachlan Small, Sterling Swim. Ahead of in lane 6, Dylan Mitchell, but it looks like this is going to be Connor Aspinall. He's now extending and pulling away from Archie. Archie's giving him a really good race, but this one's going to go the way of East Lothian's Connor Aspinall. He's going to be inside his heat time. Very impressive, 2:11.71 for Connor. Second place for Archie MacArthur. Third place will be Sterling Swim's Lachlan Small.
That was a very brave, gutsy swim from those 3 boys there. Taking it out very, very strong. Archie just paying the price a little bit in that second half of that swim, but that competitive spirit and that competitive drive really, really strong.
There's confirmation of the results there. Connor Aspinall, East Lothian, will be Scottish champion, 2:11.71. Second place for Archie MacArthur, Lachlan Small in third. Our next final is the 14-year-old 200-metre final. Swimmers coming on to poolside. Lane 0, Josh Elliott, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 1, Jensen Norris, Perth City. Lane 2, Oscar Churnside from Geary. Lane 3, Ross Anderton, East Lothian. Lane 4, Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire. Lane 5, Taylor Hutton from Incas. Lane 6, Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 7, Cameron Hastings, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 8, Ishmael Shalabi from Warren de Baths. And Lane 9, teammate Harry Sharp, also Warren de Baths. Your finalists for the 14-year-old boys 200-metre freestyle final.
Probably be looking at a lot of white water in the first half of this swim. Boys will be taking it out pretty strong on this one.
Yeah, fairly closely matched on paper. Lewis Gibson 2:08.14 in the heats. Taylor Hutton 2:09.88. Let's see what they can do in the final. Ross Anderton in lane 3 went out fast in his heat as well, and he's up with the pace, possibly just leading after 25 metres, going well in lane 1, Jensen Norris of Perth. But Lewis Gibson lane 4 starting to come through now, North Ayrshire swimmer. It's going to be lanes 3 and 4. Ross Anderton in 3, Lewis Gibson in 4, touching together. 28.3 first, quick down that first 50, Hannah.
That's very quick. So for the boys, they want to, even though they're going out fast, they want to still remember you've got 3 more 50s to go. So making sure that that's not taken out too much out of their energy system so that they can still continue and hold on to that pace. You don't want to have a big drop off. It's all well and good going out fast, but you still want to, you still want to hold on pretty strong for that second half of the swim. So we'll see coming into this turn whether there's going to be any change or disruption within the pack order of the boys here.
Yeah, Lewis Gibson holding his own. Still Ross Anderton in 2nd, but the pack is closing. Jensen Norris in 1, Taylor Hutton in 5, Ewan Weir in 6 coming back. Lewis Gibson looks strong in 1st place. It's going to be close for 2nd. Still Ross Anderton in 3, Taylor Hutton in 5. The green cap of Incas coming through. Jensen Norris still going well in 1, Ewan Weir in 6. But at the minute, Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire swimmer, looking very strong.
I think Taylor Hutton in lane 5 is now just starting to overtake Ross, along with Ewan Weir coming into this final turn here. Again, boys making use of that underwater work, trying to not breathe off that first stroke, really trying to drive it home. We're going to see a lot more white water here as the boys are going to be kicking as much as they got left coming into the last 25.
So, Lewis Gibson leading as he has been. Taylor Hutton fighting back in lane 5, but he's left himself a lot to do. It's close for the bronze, maybe Jensen Norris in 1, coming back strongly Ewan Weir in 6, but this is going to go the way of Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire, being very strong from the start. Great swim in lane 1 from Jensen Norris, possibly to take silver. Lewis Gibson takes the gold, 2:07.24. Fantastic last 50 from Jensen Norris, 30.59 gives him the silver medal, 2:07.89, and bronze goes to Taylor Hutton of Incas. What a great last leg.
That was incredible. 2 seconds clear, I think, from the rest of the swimmers for that last 50, so he obviously paced it well enough to be able to bring it home and have the fastest last leg, or the fastest last 50 for the whole swim there. Great swim from the boys.
So we now move on to the 15-year-old age group final. Lane 0, Ren 96, Adam Scott. There he is. Lane 1, Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 3, Callum Gold, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 4, Evan Davidson, Perth City. Lane 5, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Lane 6, Greg Hall, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Edward Bell, Seagulls. Lane 8, Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. And Lane 9, Callum Sinclair, West Lothian. Your finalists for the boys 1500, 200 metres final. Fastest qualifier here, Evan Davidson, Perth City, 2:00.31. Evan having an outstanding championships, 5 goals already, looking to add to that tally tonight. Going with him in lane 5, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Zach part of that record-breaking 4x2 and 4x1 East Lothian relay team. And at the top of the screen, taking this one out, Kane Buchanan in lane 2, Dundee City Aquatics.
For Evan here, 2 minutes is a barrier that most people want to try and get under in that 200 freestyle, so we'll see if he's going to drop under that 2 minute and hit the 1:59, 1:58 mark. He's looking very comfortable and smooth, probably the longest stroke rate compared to the other swimmers. Very efficient. Second half we'll probably see him start to pick up that rate a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty conservative heat swim this morning from Evan, so I think he's got a bit left in the locker, but Kane Buchanan going really well in lane 2 as well. Dundee City Aquatics after that, the next 8 swimmers are really just in a line across the pool. Third was Callum Gold actually in lane 3, but very little for the bronze medal, less than a second separating the last 8 swimmers, so everything to play for behind our clear leader, Evan Davidson from Perth City.
Evan now starting to pick up the pace a little bit, pulling away from Kane. They were both very close within that 100-metre split, but I think Evan is now really starting to make his move.
He is. Kane trying to hang on, coming through in lane 5, Zach Slater, the East Lothian swimmer. The battle is on for silver and bronze because Evan's away. 30.43 for that 50. 1:28.8 he is. Coming through for second is Zach Slater, East Lothian swimmer. But this is about Evan Davidson against the clock. He's going to be well under the 2 minute barrier. It's just a case of how much. Second place looks like it's going the way of Zach Slater. Kane Buchanan trying to hold on for the bronze. But this is all about Perth City's Evan Davidson. Going to be a very impressive swim. He's going to be under the 2 minutes, is he? Just 1:59.98.
0.02.
Zach Slater second, 2:03.41. A good swim from Zach. Kane Buchanan did hang on for the bronze medal in third place, just ahead of Callum Gold. But another gold for Perth City's Evan Davidson.
Really nicely paced swim there, out in a 58, coming back in just over the minute mark. So making sure as well that drop off is not too dissimilar between the first 100 and the second 100.
Yeah, Evan spends his training between the Perth team under Ann Dixon and also Strathallan School. Andy Lane up there doing a great job. Lots of good swimmers here performing very well this week from Strathallan. Back to our presentations. If I read the sheet right this time, I think it is Alison Shepherd. 5 times Olympian, MBE, life member of SASA. Currently coaching with the Stirling swim team. And in the 11 to 13 age group, the bronze medalist will be Stirling Swim's Lachlan Small. Stirling coach to Stirling swimmer. In the 14-year-old age group, the bronze medalist was Taylor Hutton of Incas. Silver medalist in the 11 to 13 age group, Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde. Silver medalist from lane 1 in the 400, Perth City's Jensen Norris. Great swim from Jensen, that last 50, taking him into the silver medal position. 13-year-old age group champion, Scottish national champion from East Lothian, Connor Aspinall. And in the 14-year-old age group from North Ayrshire, age group and Scottish national champion Lewis Gibson. Thank you to Alison Shepherd for those presentations. Next event in the pool is the boys' 16-year-old 200-metre freestyle. Swimmers coming onto poolside now. Lane 0, Jack Simpson from South Lanarkshire. Lane 1, Leighton Burr, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 2, Cedar Gullen, Warren de Baths. Lane 3, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian. Lane 5, Callum Peebles, East Lothian. Lane 6, Jake Gibson from Brock. Lane 7, Lucas Brown, Elgin. Lane 8, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. And lane 9, Ben Kelly from Warren de Baths. Your swimmers for the 16-year-old boys 200-metre freestyle final. Fastest qualifier, Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian swimmer, 158.4. 3 individual golds already this week. Looking to add to that tally tonight. Second fastest teammate, Callum Peebles. Both of these in the record-breaking relays teams that we've seen from East Lothian this week. 4x1, 4x2. And off we go for this final. Pretty even through the first 20 metres or so. Stefan Kravitz in 4, Callum Peebles in 5, Jake Gibson in 6, Lucas Brown in 7. Those 4 boys setting the pace. Could be very close coming up to the first turn, possibly just in lane 6, Jake Gibson of Brock. He does touch first, 26.97. Callum Peebles lane 5 second, Lucas Brown third. Stefan Kravitz in 4th place in lane 4.
Interesting style of stroke there from Stefan. He's got a very long stroke at the front, but he's using quite a lot of legs. So the minute is starting to fall into his favour as he's edging it out in front. But will he have enough in the reserves for the second half of this swim?
Swimming differently to the heat where he came through in the last 50. He's taking this one out down the first 100. 57.10 for Stefan. Teammate Callum Peebles, 58.03 in second. Scott Fleming third, 58.2. Stefan strong, looking strong. Race on for second and third at the minute. Stefan still going strong in lane 4.
Yes, you can see now that Stefan's starting to pick up his stroke rate a little bit more. Leg kick is still pretty consistent, lots of white water behind, but it's just picking up that rate coming into this turn now, but he's been hotly followed by Callum in lane 5 along with Scott in lane 3. These 3 boys being clear positions at the minute, but I wouldn't rule out Jake and Lucas.
Yeah, it looks like the race is on for second and third, but it looks like it's going to be another gold for East Lothian and Stefan Kravitz. She's a member of the junior team, strong, powerful swimmer, some good swims last week down in Sheffield at British Championships. Second place looks like it's going to go to South Lanarkshire, Scott Fleming in lane 3 ahead of Callum Peebles. But this is all about Stefan Kravitz, 1:56.86, another really strong swim from him. Second place for Scott Fleming in lane 3. Third place for Callum Peebles in lane 5. That's your 1, 2, 3. Stefan Kravitz, Scott Fleming, Callum Peebles.
Great final 50 from Scott Fleming as well. Both Stefan and Scott, the only ones coming back in 30 point.
Yeah, Stefan just held back down the first 50. He's to the front in the second 50. And after that, you never saw anybody else in the race.
We like to have a term called fast but not hard. So you want to be able to go out as fast, but make sure that it doesn't cost you energy-wise. There are times, though, however, you can go out and it feel hard but not fast. So it's trying to get that balance, that efficiency for your strokes, whether it's higher rate, less kick, or more kick, longer stroke to get that balance out the front of the stroke.
Yeah, moving on to our older boys finalists. Lane 0, William Storer, South Aberdeenshire. Lane 1, Angus Johnston, City of Glasgow. Lane 2, Nathan Campbell, Stirling Swim. Lane 3, Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Andrew Bertley, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Finn Bremner, Warren de Bath. Lane 6, Finley Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 7, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Warren de Bath. Lane 8, Micah Van Blake, Warren de Bath. And Lane 9, John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance. Fastest qualifier, City of Glasgow's Andrew Bertley. Picking up on Hannah's last point, I think you'll enjoy watching Andrew swim, Hannah.
I'm intrigued.
Long and easy. Distance freestyler, but also very good at the 200. So here we go for our last 200 metre freestyle final. Rory McKinnon in lane 3, Andrew Bertilli in lane 4, City of Glasgow teammates. Taking this one out down the first 25 metres.
A lot of these boys are very close to that 2-minute mark, with 2 of them underneath it from the heats. So it'll be interesting to see how many of them can try and get as close to that 2-minute barrier and sub under the 2 minutes as well.
26.52, always a dash down the first 50, and then it settles down into a bit more of an even-paced race down this next 100. And Andrew Bertley in lane 4, looking like he's leading at the minute from Rory in 3. Also going well in lane 5, Finn Bremner from Warren de Bath.
Really trying to get that balance with that first 50, because you want to be out strong, but making sure that it's not going to cost you, especially on that last 50. So boys will be racing each other. They'll be keeping an eye on who's either side of them. At the minute, Andrew's starting to pull away now. He's really starting to dig deep. Stroke rate starting to pick up, but not letting go from him is Rory.
Yeah, good turn from Andrew there. He just squeezed out just a little half a body length and just giving a little bit of momentum. Rory working hard. Rory more of a sprinter in lane 3. Andrew the distance freestyler, and the meeting here in the 200. Looks like it's going to be Andrew at the minute from Rory. Third place in lane 5, Finn Bremner, Warren de Bath. The legs are going now. That white water we talked about really starting to show through. And Andrew really putting the burners down. He's already won 4 goals this week. This is going to be number 5 for him, I think.
You can see he's breathing towards Rory, just keeping an eye on him, making sure that he's not getting any closer.
Trying hard, Rory. He really is trying hard down this last 15 metres, but Andrew's got enough. And he's going to turn. It's going to be a quick time, 1:54.42 for Andrew. Good last 50 from Rory, 29.66, 1:55.36 for him. And Finn Bremner taking that bronze medal for Andrew in 1:59.22.
See Rory there having the fastest last 50, so he's really digging deep, trying to catch up with Andrew, but Andrew just had that bit ahead of him from that first 100. Nice swim from the boys.
That's confirmation of that result. Andrew Bertley, 1:54.42 in first place. Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow teammate, in second. And in third place, Finn Bremner from Warrender. Back to our presentations. It's going to be Alison Shepherd again. MBE, 5-time Olympian, life member of SASA to do them. Start off with the 15-year-olds here. And I think we're in the best team top of the week. It'll be Kane Buchanan from Dundee City Aquatics, taking that first bronze medal in the 15-year-old age group. Just a shame we're not seeing the head coach in one yet. Just a shame we've not seen the head coach. In the 16-year-old age group, bronze medalist goes to East Lothian's Callum Peebles. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group, East Lothian's Zach Slater. Year-old silver medalist, South Lanarkshire's Scott Fleming. And our 15-year-old gold medalist from Perth City, Evan Davidson. Evan also the Scottish national age group champion, his 5th of the week. Tremendous effort from him. And the 16-year-old gold medalist and Scottish age group champion from East Lothian, Stefan Kravich. Getting our 18 age group winners onto the podium. The bronze medalist will be from Warren de Bath's Finn Bremner. Silver medalist will be City of Glasgow's Rory McKinnon. Still looking a bit tired from that fantastic last 50. And the gold medalist will be teammate City of Glasgow's Andrew Bertley. He is this year's Scottish national age group champion in the 17 and over 200 metre freestyle for boys. His 5th title of the week.
Phil, when you see the boys standing on the blocks, the podium's just not quite big enough to fit the broad shoulders of a swimmer. 3 of them side by side.
Got the relays on there this morning, Hannah. We had 12 on, so
good grief.
It was a bit of a squash, but some fantastic swims in the relay. 3 of the boys there were on the East Lothian team this morning that broke the Scottish junior record and club record. Anyway, back to swimming. 100 metre fly for girls, 11 to 13 finalists. In lane 0, Ciara Finlayson, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Emmy Aitken, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 2, Ava Marco, East Lothian. Lane 3, Abigail Thomas, Highland. Lane 4, Lucy Oliver from Darlington. Lane 5, Zara Kravitz for East Lothian. Lane 6, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Kalila Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 8, Gina Wren, City of Glasgow. And lane 9, Hannah Yao, Aberdeen Performance, your finalist for the girls, 11 to 13, 100 metre butterfly.
Zara having a busy schedule this evening, freshly off the back of the 200 IM.
Yeah, I think we'll see a number of the girls in repeat finals tonight as we go through. Zara, the younger sister of Stefan, who we've just seen, so the family are doing fantastically well at Snags, both Zara and Stefan. As we set off in this 100 fly, middle lanes, lanes 4 and 5, Lucy Oliver in 4, Zara Kravitz in 5, leading the way, also going well in 6. Evie Mackey, she did win the gold in the 200, the South Lanarkshire swimmer, so let's see how she can get on in the shorter version.
I've always been in awe of the 100 fly swimmers. It's one of those strokes that can be just as quick as freestyle. It's all about trying to keep the stroke nice and flat and long, making sure that you're not bobbing your head up too high. As soon as you lift your head up high, it's going to make your legs sink. So it's all about almost like skimming a stone across the water. So these 3 girls here, Evie, Zara and Lucy, all looking pretty strong coming down this last 50.
Very close final here. Lucy Oliver in 4, Zara Kravitz in 5, Evie Mackey in 6. Looks like it might well go the way of Lucy Oliver, the Darlington swimmer, in 4. She really has put the turbo on down this second 50, but Zara's fighting back in 5, and it's going to go between these two. It's going to be very close as they come up to the flags. Lucy in 4, Zara in 5. Lucy just ahead. Zara fighting back, but I think Lucy's going to get it. Oh, she hits that finish. 109.28 for Lucy. Great finish. Second for Zara. Third place for Evie. What a good race that was, Hannah.
0.01 between them on that last 50, resulting in that 0.08 difference between them in the final time. Apologies, 0.3. I need to work on my maths, I think, a little bit.
It's better than mine, don't worry.
But Evie there taking it out pretty strong, but just paying the price for that on that second 50. But still, really, really nice, smooth strokes from a lot of the girls. But Lucy and Zara taking the win there. Both 109s.
Yeah, Lucy representing Darlington, but she is Scottish, so we will see her up there as Scottish National Age Group champion in a bit. Moving on to the 14-year-old age group. Lane 0, Rosie Heaps from Fauldhouse. Lane 1, Ellen Denny from Geary. Lane 2, Kirsty Breakin, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 3, Kiana Kutzer, Warren de Baths. Lane 4, Madison Cool from Bucky. Lane 5, Neve Savarai from Newcastle. Lane 6, Coco Croxford, City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Layla Weatherspoon, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 8, Alice Cummings, City of Glasgow. And Lane 9, Christine Mackay, Warren de Baths. Your swimmers for the girls' 14-year-old 100-metre butterfly final.
A lot of familiar names there here, those who have been competing in the 200 IM, back again for this 100 fly.
Yeah, no rest for our best swimmers, Hannah, that's for sure. Great to see them back. Surely they must be getting a little bit tired now on day 4. I'm certainly tired just watching them. The fastest time here, Madison Cool from Bucky, 107.39. Neve Savarai, 107.71. Kiana Kutzer, 108.12. This is going to be a close one, I think.
I think it's going to be very, very close. Even coming down this first 50, there's not much separating all the girls. It's going to be very close coming into this first turn.
It's that white hat in 4, Madison Cool. Silver medalist in the 200 last night, the Bucky swimmer. Gold medalist in that was Coco Croxford in lane 6. And it is Madison Cool, but 0.1 behind Kiana Kutzer. Just then, Coco Croxford, Neve Savarai, so very close between the 4 swimmers.
Great underwater work there from Coco off that turn, really utilising that fly kick, taking a bit of an advantage, but again, Madison and... oh, sorry, wrong one.
Kiana in 3, Madison in 4, Coco in 6. And it looks like it is going to be Kiana Kutzer again. She's determined. Is the Warren de Baths in lane 3. Looks like she might well win this again. Close for second between Madison Cool and Coco Croxford, but it's going to be another goal for Kiana Kutzer of Warren de Baths. 105.59. Silver does go to Madison Cool of Bucky. She'll be pleased with that. And bronze to Coco Croxford, 107.50. What a second 50 there for the Warren de Bath girl.
That was really phenomenal. Made use of coming off that transition from the underwater work, kept it nice and smooth, really constant breathing pattern. When she lifted her head, it didn't let her legs drop, so allowed her to maintain that momentum right the way through to the very end. Definitely think she could have maybe dropped a little bit further if she kept her head down in the last 5, but it's still very strong win there, and majority, pretty much most of the girls dropping times from their heats into this final.
That result there confirmed on the screen for you as we move into our next event, which is the girls' 15-year-old final. Lane 0 will be Gemma Brown for Carnegie. There she is, just coming into screen. Lane 1, Charlotte Hardy from South Ayrshire. Lane 2, Charlotte Thompson, Midlothian. Lane 3, Rosie Liston, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Helen Stoddard, East Lothian. Lane 6, Ola McInnes, Harvey Midlothian. Lane 7, Susie McNair from First. Lane 8, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire. And lane 9, Madison Gallagher from First. Your swimmers for the girls' 15-year-old 100-metre butterfly final. see who gets the best start here. Possibly just lane 5, Helen Stoddard, East Lothian. Got a little bit of a lead off the blocks there, Hannah. Good start from Helen.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. She made use of that underwaters and transitioned into that first stroke very well. That momentum there, she's carried on through for the rest of this 50, so she will be turning first, coming into this wall.
Heidi Wren in second place in lane 4, City of Glasgow. Third place possibly just Orla McInnes, Heart of Midlothian swimmer. But Helen Stoddard making the most of that excellent start, and she leads the way, but they're coming back. Heidi Wren in lane 4, good turn from her. Third place Orla McInnes. Rosie Liston in lane 3, so very much medals up for grabs here, coming down the second 50.
Yes, Helen there, just not quite getting under that water there for that underwater, and Heidi really took advantage of that. Now she's starting to drive in, stroke rate picking up. Really strong hand entry as she's driving her hands forward, using that momentum, but Helen is not giving up, so it's going to be a fight into this last final 5.
Very close under the flags, possibly just Heidi Wren on the touch. And it is 104.96 for Heidi. Helen Stoddard second, 105.04. A great finish from Susie McNair, the first swimmer to take the bronze, 106.27 for Susie, but what a great second 50 from Heidi. Great turn, great underwater, just gave her enough momentum. Helen fought back, but it was the gold medal to City of Glasgow's Heidi Wren.
It's really nice to see there as well. Just coming into the last little part, both girls had their head down, but Heidi just picked up her rate enough to make sure that she spotted and finished on that full hand entry stroke, so that she just took the win over Helen.
When you saw the margin, 8/100ths of a second, that would have made all the difference between gold and silver.
Very much so. It's all about those small little competitive skills, so once training's getting back into the rhythm now for these swimmers, they'll start practicing this more and more, and that's why this competition is so important for them, to identify and utilize and work out where the competitive elements that they can work on, so the next time they go in to compete, they can maximize their potential on that.
Yeah, great point. As we move on to our next set of presentations, this time we welcome back Andy Figgins, board member of Scottish Swimming. Andy been around the swimming scene for many, many years, very respected coach. And we're going to start off with our 11 to 13 bronze medalist from South Lanarkshire, who will be Evie Mackey. Evie had one of the biggest smiles last night in the 200 fly when she won that. And she's got another big smile tonight for us, great to see. In the 14-year-old age group, our bronze medalist is Coco Croxford from City of Glasgow. Silver medalist in the 13-year-old and underage group from East Lothian, Zara Kravich. In the 14-year-old age group, it will be Bucky's Madison Cool. And our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion in the 11 to 13 age group from Darlington, Lucy Oliver. And in the 14-year-old age group, our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion for, I think, the 6th time this week, Warren de Bath, Kiana Kutzer. Great smiles from our younger girls there.
So we've got 2 more finals to go for the girls' 100 meters butterfly.
16-year-olds up next. Just coming away onto poolside now. Lane 0 will be Honor McGeechan. Inverclyde. Lane 1, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian. Lane 3, Chloe Barron from Midlothian. Lane 4, Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Alice Mackey, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 6, Melissa Mainwaring, West Lothian. Lane 7, Grace Courtney, East Lothian. Lane 8, Lucy de Grosser from Best. And lane 9, Emma Creaney from North Lanarkshire. Your finalists for the 16-year-old girls 100 metre final, butterfly. Fastest entry time, Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow in lane 4. Gold medalist in the 200 butterfly. I think the favourite for this. Chloe Barron did win silver in that event, the swimmer in lane 3 from Midlothian.
Strong start from the swimmer in lane 6, Melissa from West Lothian.
She's going well, yeah.
Very strong lead.
Stella in second place in lane 4. It's going to be these two swimmers in the lead up the first 50. Let's see what happens at the turn. Who can nail that turn?
Ooh, bit of a glide there from Melissa. Still coming up just slightly in front of Stella, so coming down into this last 50.
Stella's got some work to do. She's starting to put the burners on now, I think.
Yep.
It's going to be Stella McCarty from City of Glasgow leading this one. Melissa Maymer in second place. Alice Mackey from Heart of Midlothian in third place in lane 5. It might be a battle for silver and bronze. Looks like it's going to be Stella McCarty who's going to win this one. It looks like it's going to be Alice Mackey coming through very strongly down this second 50 for silver. But it will be Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow, touches 103.31. Silver for Alice Mackey, 105.13. And bronze for West Lothian's Melissa Mainwaring. Good swim from Stella.
Very nicely paced swim. Out, not the fastest, but then being able to bring it back on that second 50 and making sure that drop off between the first 50 and the second 50 is not too dissimilar. Keeping it nice and low. A nice drive into the wall for the final 5 metres.
And you see confirmation of that result as our swimmers come on poolside for our last girls 100 metre butterfly final. 17-18 age group. Lane 0 will be Thanrada McGregor from Warren de Baths. Ignore that. Lane 1 will be Hannah Willis, City of Peterborough. Lane 2, Natalie Jones, Warren de Baths. Lane 3, Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Catherine Bailey, Red Cap, Perth City. Lane 5, Amy Watson, White Cap in the Clyde. Lane 6, Eve Mayer, South Ayrshire, Blue Cap. Lane 7, Scarlett Ferris, Perth City's Red Cap. Lane 8, Holly McGill, Heart of Midlothian. And Lane 9, Gabrielle Ersing, Red 96. Our final of the 100 metre butterfly for girls, our 17-18 age group. This should be a close one.
Should be very close. Quite a lot of close 105s to 106s. Not much separating the whole final. 100 fly really good for setting up a good strong 200 fly as well as a 200 IM.
Catherine Bailey did win the 200 fly. She's had a fantastic championships. 5 gold medals so far for the Perth City swimmer. See who can get out of the blocks well. Looks like Amy Watson got a good start in lane 5. Also going well is Scarlett Ferris in lane 7.
That was a very strong start there. Coming into the last 25 of this 50. Starting to level out the playing field a little bit. Making use of that momentum off the start was Eve in lane 6 from South Ayrshire, apologies.
It's okay, Drew Mackenzie in 3, City of Glasgow coming through, Amy Watson in 5 and Eve in 6, but very close between the swimmers. Expect Catherine Bailey to finish the race well. She'll need to from that position, 5th at the turn. Drew Mackenzie lane 3 leading the way, but this could go anyway down this second 50. 5 swimmers in a line, Drew Mackenzie possibly just in lane 3, Catherine Bailey coming back in lane 4, Amy Watson in lane 5, but this looks like it's going to be City of Glasgow's Drew Mackenzie. Can Catherine catch at the last 5 metres? I don't think so. She's going to get the silver, I think. But gold's going to go to City of Glasgow's Drew Mackenzie. And she touches first, 103.44 for Drew, 104.16 for Catherine. And a great swim in lane 1 from City of Peterborough's Hannah Willis to take the bronze medal. And there's our winner, a lovely smile from Drew Mackenzie in lane 3. One or two gremlins there, but it is Drew Mackenzie. Gold medal for her, silver Catherine Bailey, bronze went to Hannah Willis in lane 1 from City of Peterborough. And there's the results confirmed for you on the screen.
I always find I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the 100 metres butterfly. I'd love to have been a sprinter, it was never quite long enough for me. But then 200 butterfly is always one of those events that if you don't get that first 100 meters right, the rest of the race could be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I think you're always such a strong 200 fly swimmer, Hannah, that's for sure. I guess in the shorter version of the 200 AM and the 400, you just had to, you know, the 50 fly and the 100 fly, just get on with it, I guess. It's part of the race.
Very much so. There's a lot of versatility around having a good 100 fly. Certainly benefits the 200 IM, being able to have that sort of explosive power and speed, but the endurance to then back it up with another 150 meters of other strokes. And also for the 50 fly as well, and setting up for your first half of the 200 fly too. So quite a versatile event.
Next set of presentations done by Andy Figgins. I'll ask you this question, Hannah, don't tell me now, but tell us later. When you first started at Snags, what were your preferred events? What did you really excel at as a real 13, 14-year-old? But back to this, our bronze medalist in the 15-year-old from first, Susie McNair. 16-year-old bronze medalist from West Lothian will be Melissa Mainwaring. Melissa having a good championships. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group, East Lothian's Helen Stoddard. And in the 16 age group, it will be Heart of Midlothian's Alice Mackey. And our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion in the 15-year-old age group, City of Glasgow's Heidi Wren. And in the 16 age group, our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from City of Glasgow, Stella McCarty. And our older swimmers just sneaking up behind, bronze medalist in the 17-18 age group, City of Peterborough's Hannah Willis. Great to see Hannah up from Peterborough, made the long journey worthwhile. On the podium, silver medalist, Perth City's Catherine Bailey. And our gold medalist, the second time we've seen her up there tonight already, City of Glasgow's Drew Mackenzie. Junior team squad member. Great week last week down in Sheffield, back that up this week at Snags. Let's hope the coach will give him a couple of days off next week as a rest.
City of Glasgow there taking the clean sweep of the gold medals.
And certainly leading the way in the team championship as well, Hannah.
Nice to see. So going back to your question that you asked me before, my main event I focused on was actually butterfly. 200 meters butterfly was my best event. Struggled with breaststroke. I could swim it faster backwards than I could forwards. That kind of came together a little bit later on in life for me.
Interesting though for these young swimmers, it's never too late.
No.
I think swimming is very much a sport where late developers do come through. There's massively, particularly what we've seen with COVID and everything as well.
Exactly.
Anyway, better introduce these swimmers. Event 44, the boys 100 metre butterfly, 13 and under age group finalist, lane 0, Cameron Beck. From Inverclyde, lane 1, Lewis Maxwell Paul from Warren de Bath, lane 2, Ethan Collins from North Lanarkshire, lane 3, Dylan Mitchell, Warren de Bath, lane 4, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie, lane 5, Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde, lane 6, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow, lane 7, Lockie Buller from Shetland, lane 8, Alfie Price from Orkney, and lane 9, Lewis Lothian from East Lothian. Fastest qualifier, James Kilpatrick from Carnegie, 1:07.18. He won gold in the 50, but interestingly, Archie won gold in the 200. So this might be the battle to see who wins the one in the middle. I'm sure the other 6 swimmers will have something to say about that. Start from Dylan Mitchell in 3, Warren de Bath, red cap, 5, Archie MacArthur from Inverclyde. Starting to come through now, Carnegie's James Kilpatrick without a cap in lane 4. Going well in 6, Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow. But it's the Inverclyde white cap of Archie MacArthur that's going to lead at halfway and looking very strong down the first 50.
Quite a commanding lead here, closely followed there by James. He does have the faster heat swim. So So it'll be interesting to see whether on the second 50, can he catch up with Archie?
He's starting to come back. Third place in lane 6 for Daniel Hendry of City Glasgow, but it's a good battle up front, and it does look like the young Carnegie swimmer James Kilpatrick, we did laugh this afternoon, he was much quicker on coming down this way than he was going up the other way in his 400 IM, and he's storming back down this second 50. This is a fantastic second leg from James Kilpatrick, and Carnegie going to have another gold medal, and it is James Kilpatrick, 33.4. What a strong second 50 from him, 105.34. Silver medal goes to Archie MacArthur, and bronze to Daniel Hendry of City of Glasgow. What a great second 50 from James.
That was fantastic, really, really nice and strong. Kept that high rate right the way through to the wall. Nice strong drive at the front of the stroke. And going back to your point earlier, I think it is important for a lot of these swimmers, especially going through puberty, and a lot of them will be changing size, height. You know, what your best stroke is now might not be your best stroke in a couple of years' time, because a lot of growth and development will be happening. And COVID as well will have made a bit of an impact on some of the body shape and size of a lot of these athletes.
Yeah, very much so. And keep all your options open. Keep doing all strokes, keep all your options open. Moving on to our 14-year-old final. 100-metre butterfly for boys. Lane 0, Cameron Hastings, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 1, Fraser Cowie, North Ayrshire. Lane 2, Jamie Beach from Newcastle. Lane 3, Ross Anderton, East Lothian. Lane 4, Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 5, Dean Bargati from South Lanarkshire. Lane 6, Tom Jeffords, Ren 96. Lane 7, Eamon Jaridi, Royal Wolverhampton School. Lane 8, Ishmael Shalabi, Warren de Bass. And Lane 9, James Geddes, Aberdeen Dolphins. Your finalists for the 14-year-old boys, 100-metre butterfly. And for those of you watching from home, just watch this start from lane 4.
Really nice start from the swimmer in lane 4, making use of those underwaters, coming up very strong, straight into a nice smooth transition to his first couple of strokes. And he's just holding on to this momentum. The gap between him and the other boys are starting to get bigger and bigger on this first 50.
Yeah, Dean Fern, certainly one of the hottest prospects in Scottish swimming. Aberdeen Dolphins swim having a great week. Turns in 26.65. Second, another Dean Bargati in lane 5. South Lanarkshire swimmer third for Ross Anderton in East Lothian in lane 3, but Dean Fern is off and away, Hannah. No catching Dean, that's for sure.
Very much so. 26 for that first 50 is very, very strong. Aberdeen Dolphins producing some great swimmers in the sprint side, holding it on, but clear water between him and Dean from South Lanarkshire.
Yeah, it looks like Dean, certainly two Deans first and second, but this is all about Dean Fern. 58.88. Second place will be Dean Bargati. Third place, I think, will be Ross Anderton from East Lothian, and is. So gold to Dean Fern, silver Dean Bargati, and bronze will be Ross Anderton. But a fantastic swim from Aberdeen Dolphins, Dean Fern, 58.88.
So 26 in the first 50, then coming back in a 32. So 6-second drop off is just a wee bit too big, so he probably took it out a little bit too hard. But for him to get that distance in that clear water, he needed to do that to come away with the win. As the year progresses and the season goes on, I'm sure he'll be able to tighten up that drop off a wee bit more.
Yeah, big learning experience. Possibly hasn't swam it much long course as well, but a great swim from him. As our 15-year-old boys make their way on for the 100-metre butterfly final. Lane 0, Callum Mongan from Aqua Bears. Lane 1, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Lane 2, Callum Sinclair, West Lothian. Lane 3, James Burnett, Warren de Bass. Lane 4, Evan Davidson, Perth City. Lane 5, Finlay Nelson from Dumfries. Lane 6, Adam Scott, Red 96. Lane 7, Lucas Johnson, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 8, Torrin Liversidge, South Aberdeenshire. And Lane 9, Logan van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. Your finalists for the 15-year-old boys, 100-metre butterfly. Evan Davidson, fastest qualifier in lane 4, going for his second gold medal of the night. Perth City swimmer. Next fastest qualifier, Dumfries, is Finlay Nelson in 5.
I'm sure Evan will have watched the previous final and seen Dean go out pretty strong, getting that 58 split 58 times, so he'll be wanting to try and drop his heat swim.
But it's Finlay Nelson in Dumfries who's taking this one out in lane 5. Also going in lane 6, Adam Scott, Red 96. Evan Davidson probably in 3rd place at the minute in lane 4, the Perth City swimmer. Here's Adam Scott, takes this one out, 27.48 for Adam. Second is Evan Davidson in 4. Finlay Nelson in 3rd place in 5, but everything to play for. Hannah coming off that turn.
Very much so, these 3 boys in the middle becoming a bit more level, so it is going to be coming down into this last 5 metres. That's going to be really, really close. Who's going to get the finish? But I think it's the Warrender swimmer, James, who's starting to pull away a little bit more.
Evan Davidson in 4, Perth City. Warrender swimmer in 3, James Burnett. So it looks like it will be Evan. Lane 5 will be Finlay Nelson in 2nd, but it is Perth City's red cap. Easy confused. 2nd place for Finlay Nelson. 3rd place for Adam Scott. And James was 4th in lane 3. But 58.62. Evan improves on his heat time. He'll be pleased with that. Another gold in the bank for Evan.
Strong last 50 again, coming back in 30 point.
Wait for that confirmation to come through. It does look like it's Evan Davidson, Finlay Nelson and Adam Scott. And there is the official result now on your screen. 58.62 for Evan.
Nice progression from his heat swim into the final.
Now move on to our 16-year-olds finalists. Oh, presentations. Absolutely right. Presentations for the 11 to 13 100-metre butterfly. These are being done by Alan Lynn, Head of Performance Development for British Swimming. Bronze medalist goes to Daniel Hendry, City of Glasgow, in the 13 and under age group. And in the 14 age group, bronze medalist goes to Ross Anderton of East Lothian. Silver medalist in Inverclyde's Archie MacArthur in the 11-13 age group. And in the 14 age group, silver medalist is Dean Bahati from South Lanarkshire. Gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion in the 11 to 13 age group from Carnegie, James Kilpatrick. And Scottish national age group champion and gold medalist in the 14 age group for Aberdeen Dolphins, Dean Fern. Thank you to Alan Lynn. His new role of Head of Performance Development at British Swimming. Previously head coach here at Scottish Swimming. That role now passing to Ian Wright. Back to the pool with the 16-year-old boys next. They make their way to poolside. 2 more finalists in this event of 100 fly. Before we move on to some sprints in the 50-metre back. In the 16-year-old events in lane 0, representing Highland will be Lewis Austin. In lane 1, another Lewis Gray from Inverclyde. Lane 2, Cedar Gullen from Warrender Baths. Lane 3, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Fergus Woodward for Portobello. Lane 5, Stephen Kravitz, East Lothian. Lane 6, Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Jake Gibson from Brock. Lane 8, Ben Kelly from Warren de Baths. And lane 9, David Smythe from Glenrothes, your finalists for the 16-year-old boys 100-metre butterfly final.
Very close final here. Most of the boys within 2 seconds of each other, but the middle 4 lanes will be wanting to try and break under that minute barrier.
Stefan Kravitz, he's loading swimmer in lane 5. Possibly just left a little bit in the tank when he swam the heat this morning. Looking very strong up this first 50. Closely followed in lane 6 by Kieran Lennox from Aberdeen Performance, and going well Ben Kelly, Warren de Bass here in lane 8. They're the top 3. Stefan ahead of Ben and then Kieran. But Stefan looking very impressive off that turn.
Extremely, really fast around the walls, nice and sharp, kept his head really low. As he pushed off, he really started kicking quite nice, big amplitude kicks, transitioned out into that first stroke nice and effectively, and he's just carrying it away all the way to the finish here.
Kieran Lennox going well in lane 6. Keep an eye out for Lewis Gray in lane 1 in the Clyde swimmer. But this is all about Stefan Kravitz. He's going to take the gold. Silver, I think, will be Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance, and bronze will be in lane 1, Lewis Gray. So all 3 boys under a minute. So great swims by Kieran and by Lewis to get under the minute. I would imagine Stefan's done that several times, and 56.56 is another very strong performance.
Very strong, and it also looked very comfortable as well. Wasn't too out of breath when he finishes. Obviously at the sprint you want to be knowing that you've worked quite hard, but he did make that look very, very easy.
There we have confirmation. Stefan Kravitz, Kieran Lennox and Lewis Gray, your 1, 2, 3. Our final in this boys 100 metre butterfly, our elder swimmers, 17-18. Lane 0 will be Logan Ward, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 1 will be Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow. Lane 2 will be Finley Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 3, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Warren de Baths. Lane 4, Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 5, Callum Rose, Warren de Baths. Lane 6, Finn Bremner, Warren de Baths. Lane 7, Travis Davey, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 8, Cameron Craney, North Lanarkshire. And lane 9, Andrew Brodie, Aberdeen Dolphins. Fastest entry time here, Aberdeen Dolphins, Tom Robertson. Teammate of Dean Fern, who won the 14-year-old age group. Can Tom make this a second gold medal for Aberdeen Dolphins in this event? Pretty even off the blocks. Probably going well right down there at the bottom. Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow, most explosive start. Tom Robertson in 4, Callum Rose in 5, both going well.
Boys in the golden lanes now starting to pull through, but Rory is still hanging on after that great start. But it is Tom Robertson from Dolphins. Nice sharp turn, making use of that underwater work, really taking the lead now.
Rory McKinnon in 2nd place up there in lane 1. Callum Rose, Warren Green lane 5. But Tom Robertson looking really strong. Swam down in Sheffield last week at the British Championships. Rory McKinnon going well in that top lane up there in number 1 for City of Glasgow. And now here in lane 8, Cameron Craney, North Lanarkshire going well. But it does look like it's going to be in the middle lane, lane 4. Tom Robertson brings this one home, and he does. 56.1. 2nd place, 56.78 for Rory McKinnon. Callum Rose 3rd, 57.32. Good swim from Tom.
Great swim. He's had a busy couple of weeks. British Championships last week, Edinburgh International. Now that there's more competitions coming back, a lot of these swimmers will be getting used to doing a lot of competitions back to back. So it's really important that after this, a lot of swimmers take time to get their recovery, get good food, good sleep, to be able to come back to many more competitions without any injuries or any illnesses.
Yeah, some really good points there as we move on to our next set of presentations. I do think there will be a lot of swimmers getting a couple of days off this week after British Championships and then snags back to back. This major meet up here, I think, will be back in this pool for the Glasgow International at the end of May. I think that's the next one. Well, there's a big one in Aberdeen as well, I think, coming up.
Yes, there is. The Aberdeen swim meet and the Glasgow International.
Yeah, the next two. We welcome back onto poolside Alan Lenz to do these next set of presentations. 100 fly, butterfly for boys. 15-year-old bronze medalist will be Adam Scott from Wren 96. He comes forward onto the podium to get his medal. In the 16-year-old age group, it will be Inverclyde's Lewis Gray. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group from Dumfries will be Finlay Nelson. In the 16-year-old age group, it will be from the Aberdeen Performance Squad, Kieran Lennox. There he is. Gold medalist in the 15-year-old age group representing Perth City, Evan Davidson. It's his 7th gold medal of the week, I think. In the 16-year-old age group, gold medalist not far behind, Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian. Scottish National age group champions both. Evan in the 15 age group, Stefan in the 16 age group. We've just got our older swimmers to go. Bronze medalist in the 17 age group from Warren de Bath will be Callum Rose. Silver medalist will be City of Glasgow's Rory McKinnon. Good swim from Rory. Gold medalist and Scottish National age group champion from Aberdeen Dolphins will be Tom Robertson. Some great swims by those gold medalists. Evan Davidson, Stefan Kravitz and Tom Robertson. I think we'll see them competing against each other more often than not going forward, Hannah.
Definitely, and having that rivalry and competition is only going to push the swimmers further and better and get the most out of themselves. Transitioning as well from the age group section into senior swimming can be a little bit of a bumpy road, but having people there to be able to push you through it, it can only be beneficial.
Yeah, quite often involves a change of programme, a change of coach at that age as well, depending on what swimmers decide to do. If they decide to move for education as well.
Yeah, it's all a personal preference. A lot of athletes will either stick to the programme, know what where's best. However, university, further education, that can play a factor in it as well. So yeah, you might see a little bit of changing in clubs, but there's no harm in change. Sometimes change can be good, and then sometimes some athletes can stay. I stayed in the same programme for 26 years.
Didn't do you any harm, Hannah. Didn't do you any harm at all. Listen, let's get back onto the finalists. It's only 50-metre backstroke, so need to be quick. Lane 0, Chloe Kirk from Mulgai and Bears Den. Lane 1, Jessica Kirkwood, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 2, Madison Christophoros, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 3, Caitlin Reid, Warren de Bath. Lane 4, Freya Beach, Newcastle. Lane 5, Isla Wetton, East Lothian. Lane 6, Eva Smith, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Casey Dixon, South Lanarkshire. Lane 8, Anna Lawson, East Lothian. Lane 9, Lisa McNair from First. This will be quick.
Splash and dash.
And close, looking at their entry times. Fastest entry time is Lane 4, Freya Beach from Newcastle. Just ahead of Isla Wetton from East Lothian. See if any swimmer can get an advantage off the start.
When it comes to 50s, it's all about perfecting the skills, no mistakes, so good start, good underwaters, high rate, making sure you nail that finish as well. So at the minute we've got the swimmer in lane 6, Eva Smith, start making a bit of a fraction of a head in front of Isla.
Yeah, very close between these two, going well in lane 3, Caitlin Reid as well, but it's going to be very close. Lane 6, Eva Smith, lane 5, Isla Wetton. It looks like Eva's going to get this on the touch. And she does, Eva Smith, 32.64. Second, Caitlin Reid, 33.45. And third place for Madison Christophoros in lane 2, representing Aberdeen Dolphins. Eva Smith, your gold medalist.
Fantastic swim from those girls, and it really is. It's fast, it's furious, it's splashy. Just waiting here for the results to confirm.
Did have 1 or 2 challenges this afternoon with the scoreboard at that end for the 50s, particularly with some of our younger swimmers, but that's the official result. Eva Smith, Isla Wetton, third place was actually Caitlin Reid, 33.45, so there is amendment to the result. Eva Smith first, second place for Isla Wetton, and third place for Caitlin Reid.
Interestingly, the first time I've actually seen for a snags event, the 50s actually start at the same end that all the other races. Normally it's at the opposite end of the pool. So
yeah, and that's because we've had lots of problems at this end of the pool. So that's the reason. We had lots of problems on Wednesday night. So just to keep the meet going, we've had to go down to that end of the pool. As you can tell, that's not without its issues as well. Anyway, into the 14-year-old age group. Lane 0, Madison Cool representing Lucky. Lane 1, Emma Silcott from first. Lane 2, Layla Witherspoon from Harder Midlothian. Lane 3, Melissa Minnie, City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Kiana Kutzer from Warren de Baths. Lane 5, Neve Savarai from Newcastle. Lane 6, Iran Ferris, North Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Eve Wood from Orkney. Lane 8, Amber Littlejohn from Aberdeen Dolphins. And lane 9, Kirsty Breakin, also from Aberdeen Dolphins. Your swimmers for the final of the girls 14-year-old 50-metre backstroke.
as we start seeing the girls going up in each age group, we'll start seeing the dives being a lot more explosive, the underwaters, them staying underwater a little bit longer, but obviously not going past that 15-metre mark.
Let's see if any of these girls can get out to the 10-metre mark. Off we go. Good underwater work there. Middle lanes, lane 4, Kiana Kutzer. Lane 5, Neve Savarai. These two are leading the way from in lane 2, Layla Witherspoon.
Kiana holding a nice steady head position, and she's got a really high rate there. But Neve hanging onto her shoulder, but it does look like it's Kiana that's going to pull ahead a bit more.
Take a third gold medal of the night, Hannah. What a swim again, 31.56. It's faster than that. That's Neve's time. Our winner definitely came from lane 4. Our winner was Kiana Kutzer in lane 4. Second place was Neve Savarai in lane 5. Third place, I think, was Eran Ferris in lane 6, but we'll need to wait for that confirmation.
Does look like there are two lanes that aren't showing their final times just yet, so we're just waiting for that final confirmation.
There you go, 30.52 for Kiana. So a second ahead of Neve in second place. Eran in third, so we'll get that result confirmed for you. And one of the downsides of finishing at that end is, would you believe the swimmers can't see the scoreboard?
That is, so it's a little bit of a surprise when you climb out and you have to walk around behind the barrier or behind the screen just to see your time.
And to see what position you finished as well.
Yes.
Well, I do think, to be fair, Kiana knew she'd won that one, and she did by a comfortable 1.04 seconds. We'll just sort that out for you and confirm the results in a minute. Here it is, coming up now. 30.52 for Kiana Kutzer, Warren de Bath swimmer. Second place for Neve Savarai, Newcastle, 31.56. And third place for Iran Ferris, North Lanarkshire swimmer. That's your 1, 2, 3.
Not bad. Third final for Kiana and a third gold.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think she's up to maybe 7 for the week. Moving on to our 15-year-old girls. Times get faster, generally, as the ages go up. Lane 0 will be Lucy Atherton from Heart of Midlothian. There she is in the background. Lane 1, Grace Noonan, Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 2, Isabella Abernethy, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 3, Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow, looking for her second gold of the night. Lane 5, Maria Howe, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 6, Mia McLeod, Swim It. Lane 7, Zoe Crawford from First. Lane 8, Brooke Rogerson from Dumfries. And lane 9, Anna Easton, Dundee City Aquatics. Your swimmers for the 15-year-old girls 50-metre backstroke final. So Heidi Wren, fastest qualification time, 31.89. She's definitely got the best underwater. Significant lead for Heidi. She won the race at the start.
Very much so. She came up just before the 50-meter mark, so really perfect timing with that underwater. Nice smooth start. Really strong, consistent rate. You can see the power and drive of each hand entry as she's coming in with a very clear lead, which is unusual for a 50.
Full body length and extending away. It's going to be close for second on the touch. Heidi Wren's our winner. Second place, lane 5, Maria Howe. Bronze medal goes to Zoe Crawford in lane 7. That's your 1, 2, 3. But Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow, what a good sprinter she is.
Very nice swim, and again another medal to add to the collection tonight. She's been very busy.
30.57 for Heidi, significantly faster than her heat swim.
And it is, with the 50, it's all about those marginal gains, the small little components. You want to try and be as perfect with all your competitive skills, so no room for error, no slipping off the start, making sure you're getting up, that maximizing that underwaters and nailing your finish. So a lot to think about for such a short swim.
Yeah, and Heidi, we can safely say, did all of those things really well in that last heat. We're just waiting for confirmation again, but we know who won that race. It was definitely lane 4, City of Glasgow's Heidi Wren, a very quick 30.57. It's a bit of a blanket finish for second place, so they made sure trying to sort that out.
There really wasn't much in it between second and third.
There's the official result. It was Maria Howe who took second place from Aberdeen Performance. The bronze going from Mia McLeod from Swim It. So Heidi Wren, Maria Howe second, Mia McLeod third. 16-year-old finalists. Lane 0, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. Lane 1, Natalie Marshall, West Lothian. Lane 2, Lucy McPartland, Perth City. Lane 3, Katie Rose, Warren de Bath. Lane 4, Melissa Mainwaring, West Lothian. Lane 5, Lucy Stokes, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 6, Chloe Baum, Bath University. Lane 7, Chloe Barron, Midlothian. Lane 8, Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins. And Lane 9, Emma Leggett, South Lanarkshire, your swimmers. For the 16-year-old girls, 50-metre backstroke final.
So again, we're starting to see a couple of familiar faces from the last couple of races that we've had. Nice to see swimmers changing up and multi-eventing, really learning what their best stroke is.
Absolutely, and it plays to your point from earlier, Hannah, of not really knowing where you'll end up, but keeping all your options open for as long as you possibly can, and perhaps seeing where the gaps are in some of the squads as you get a little bit older. Last one has been stood down there for a minute. Not sure if somebody slipped, maybe possibly in lane 6, I think. So let's see if we get another dominant performance like we did in our previous heat from Heidi. This time it's a lot closer, but it is the middle lanes, 4 and 5. Melissa Mainwaring in 4, Lucy Stokes in 5, also going well in 3, Katie Rose.
It's going to be difficult to try and separate between Melissa and Lucy here. They're pretty much going stroke for stroke.
Also going well, Katie Rose in 3. That looks like the 3 medalists. What order? Possibly just lane 4, Melissa Mainwaring coming through to take the gold. And she does, 30.39 for Melissa. Second place for Lucy Stokes. And I thought Katie Rose was third, but we'll need to wait on that. Melissa Mainwaring 30.39 showing.
Again, just waiting for that official confirmation.
Yeah, I think it's third place that possibly up for grabs here. I thought it was possibly Katie Rose in lane 3, but maybe the scoreboard showing Natalie Marshall, but maybe we're just checking that backup button.
Sometimes as well, if the swimmer touches the pad maybe not quite as strong, it might not trigger it as much. So again, it's just making sure.
Yeah, I don't think it'll affect the first two. Definitely Melissa first and Lucy second. Interesting. It is Katie Rose for third, 30.8 for Katie, so she did get off the bronze medal. So it is Melissa.
Dating that we have 2 third places. I think it has changed Katie's time.
Yeah, I think that will come through to the result now. That's a confirmation, so apologies for that, but it is Melissa Mainwaring in gold, Lucy Stowe silver, Katie Rose for bronze. Your 1, 2, 3 in the 16-year-old girls 50-metre backstroke final.
It's interesting as well, using the backstroke ledge. Not every club has access to being able to use this backstroke ledge, so for some swimmers this might be the first time experiencing using it, and it can be quite a tricky piece of equipment to get used to.
It certainly is, and it is for the officials to get it in sometimes as well. But anyway, moving back to our last final of this 17-18 age group. Lane 0, Isla Yule, South Aberdeenshire. Lane 1, Fern Crichton, Perth City. Lane 2, Hannah Willis, City of Peterborough. Lane 3, Kira Sturricker, South Ayrshire. Lane 4, Katie Shanahan, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Anna Green, Warren de Bath. Lane 6, Scarlett Ferris, Perth City. Lane 7, Natalie Jones, Warren de Bath. Lane 8, Ella Stevenson, North Lanarkshire. And Lane 9, Millie Mill, Warren de Bath.
Favourite here will be Katie Shanahan, coming off the back of a stellar performance at the British Championships last week.
Yep, consideration time for the Commonwealth Games team for Katie. Great to see. I think this is the only individual event she's done so far, so we'll see how she goes. She was very impressive in the heats. Underwater work from Katie in 4, very strong. Also going well in 6, Scarlett Ferris from Perth City. And in lane 3, Kira Sturricker from South Ayrshire. But Katie looking very strong down this backstroke leg.
Katie's taking the lead here. Scarlett and Scarlett and Anna coming into the wall.
Katie touches first, 29.09 for her. Anna Green second, 29.98. Kira Sturricker in third place, but a good swim from Katie Shanahan, 29.09. Another swimmer who's been very busy recently.
Nice to see her be here at the championships to be able to compete. As I say, she had a busy week last week, so for her picking the 50 backstroke's probably not one of her top priority events, but still competition, making the most of getting that experience and that practice in.
Yep, she's been in all the relays for City of Glasgow, and as I say, just doing a little bit of speed work here in the 50 back. Their strongest event, possibly the same as what yours was, Hannah, in the 400 IM.
Yep, 400 IM, and her 200 back as well is very, very solid.
British champion, actually, wasn't she, last week in that? Back to the presentations. Next set of presentations are being done by Jacqueline Lynn, Head of School and Community Sport at Sport Scotland. This will be for the early finals in the girls, starting with the 11 to 13 age group. Our bronze medalist was from Warren de Bath. It will be Caitlin Reid. Caitlin steps forward now to receive her medal. In the 14 age group, it will be North Lanarkshire's Iran Ferris to get her medal. And then getting a silver medal there. Bronze medal, should I say. Silver medalist in the 11 to 13, East Lothian's Isla Wetton. The loudest cheer of the night so far. Teammates and family. Silver medalist in the 14 age group from Newcastle, Niamh Savarai. And our gold medalist and Scottish national champion in the 11 to 13 age group for Aberdeen Performance, Eva Smith. And in the 14 age group, our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from Warren de Bath, Kiana Kurtzer. So the next set of medalists will come out now, I think. With the 15, 16 and 17, 18 age groups. Here they come. Bronze medalist in the 15-year-old age group from Swim 8 will be Mia McLeod. Mia steps forward to get her medal. Bronze medalist in the 16-year-old from Warren de Bass will be Katie Rose. And in the 17 age group will be South Ayrshire's Kira Sterica. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group Aberdeen Performance Squad's Maria Howe. 16-year-old age group Dundee City Aquatics, Lucy Stove. And in the 17-18 teenage group up the Warren de Bass, Anna Green. And the gold medalist and Scottish age group champion in the 15-year-old category representing City of Glasgow, Heidi Wren. 16-year-old gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from West Lothian, Melissa Mainwaring. And in the 17-18 age group, our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from City of Glasgow, Katie Shanahan. Nice photos there taken. Back to the pool will be our last individual event of the night. An event, Hannah, that you'll be very familiar with, the 400 metre IM. First time we've seen the boys final in this, the 200 being tomorrow. We've got three finals. The 11 to 13 and 14 was Swammer's heat declared winner earlier this afternoon. Our first set of finalists will be our 15-year-old boys. They come onto poolside now.
It is one of those events, and I might be a bit controversial saying this, but I do think it's possibly one of the toughest events to do. Not because I swam it, but because I think the 200 fly, 200 back, they're quite tough events. Even the 800 free is also a tough event, but for this one you have to be very particular with your race strategy, your strengths, your weaknesses, and it's just an awkward distance, I think.
It's certainly right up there, Hannah, in terms of difficulty. Let's get the finalists introduced, and I think we can talk about that point during the race. Lane 0, Ben Payton, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 1, Fraser Stewart, Step Rock. Lane 2, Luke Garrity, Inverclyde. Lane 3, Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, James Burnett, Warren de Bass. Lane 5, Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. Lane 6, James Body from Geary. Lane 7, Harry Keel, Ren 96. Lane 8, Tom Armitage from Highland. And Lane 9, Taylor Sinclair from Elgin. Your finalists for the 15-year-old boys 400 metre individual medley. Let's see what strategies these boys adopt and how the race develops and through the various strokes. Fastest entry time, Warren de Bass, James Burnett from the heats earlier this morning, 5 minutes and 2/100ths of a second.
For the boys this morning, the key thing will be getting that recovery in from the heat swim into the final. It's one of those events that can take a lot out of you, so making sure you have good swim down, good bite to eat, and if you're able to get a bit of put your head down for 20 minutes, half an hour sleep, making sure that you can kind of come in and be a bit fresher for this final.
James leading this one out, 28.17 down the first 50. Second place in lane 5, Kai Connolly. Over 1.2 seconds down. James Body in third place in lane 6. And already we're seeing something of an arrow formation even down the second 50.
You'll start seeing some of the swimmers for the second 50 on each of the hundreds really starting to step up. It's quite a strategic pacing required for the 400 IM. So first 50, this first 100 doesn't necessarily mean that James will be the one that's going to finish first, but being out strong gives you that clear advantage. Just depends how the race strategy plans out. If he goes out too quick, he might suffer a little bit into the breaststroke freestyle part of the event. Just depends on what his strengths and weaknesses are compared to his competitors. At the minute, he's looking very, very strong.
Yeah, turning onto the back, James leading the way from Kai Connolly in lane 5 in second, James Body in third place in lane 6. I think we can expect to see Thomas Traynor in lane 3 start to come through in this middle part of the event. But certainly at the minute, James has got one style, which is lead off and catch me if you can.
For some athletes, that can be a good advantage, getting yourself out in front. I know my strategy as a junior used to be go out as hard as I could on my fly and my breaststroke. Because my breaststroke was terrible, everybody used to catch me up on the breaststroke. So as you grow and develop, your strengths and weaknesses will change and your strategy will change. So here, James making use of his very strong fly and backstroke. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half of the event goes.
Yeah, Kai Connolly still in second place, but Thomas Traynor from South Lanarkshire is starting to come through on the backstroke. You will see from the splits who gets the fastest second 50, and it gives you an indication on you know where the differentials are coming from. And James touches in a time of 38.64, 39.12. So James does have the fastest, was the fastest, so he increased his lead down that second leg of backstroke as they turn into the all-important breaststroke leg.
You want to try and pace as well for each of the hundreds, the splits for the first 50 and the second 50. You want your second 50 to try and be equal to, if not slightly quicker than your first. Obviously off the fly, you've got the dive, so it's very difficult to make your second 50 faster than your first. But for back breast and free, you really want to try and work that second 50 on each of the strokes.
And now we see Kai Connolly starting to make inroads into the lead of James Burnett, the City of Glasgow swimmer in lane number 5, really starting to cut back.
He is. Kai's just eating away at the lead that James had set up.
About 0.7 he brought back on that 50, looking at the scoreboard. Also faster Thomas Traynor, 42.35, so he's catching up as well. What's James got left in the tank down this second 50 onto the last leg of freestyle?
Kai with just a bit of a higher turnover, so it's almost like skimming the top of the water. James going for that longer stroke. Positives and sort of maybe a little bit of hampering with that longer stroke. You're underwater for a bit longer, so maybe a bit more oxygen depth. But for him, he might be pushing his way forward into a stronger freestyle leg.
And it looks like, as you said earlier, he really has just preserved a little bit of energy for that second 50, and he's pulled away, if anything, from Kai. I think that'll be reflected in this split. 44.91 for James. Thomas Traynor the fastest split, but it wasn't Kai. Kai dropped back into third place now, and Thomas Traynor's the nearest challenger. So James Burnett from Warrender leading the way, Thomas Traynor second, South Lanarkshire, Kai Connolly third, City of Glasgow.
So it's really who's got whatever's left in the tank coming into this last 100. It's always a painful last 100, but it really is who's got the stamina and the grit to hang on. James looking very comfortable here.
Thomas Traynor working hard. He's closing the gap slightly, I think, but he's left himself a lot to do down this last 50. James just looked very solid all the way through this race.
He has. That was a nice turn from Thomas there. He's just sitting at James's feet. And James now really turning on the kick. A lot of white water now coming into this last 25.
And James looking strong. 25 metres to go. Thomas having one last crack. I think he's left himself a bit too much to do, but he really is trying hard. Third place is going to go to Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. But James Burnett's led from the start, the Warrender Bass swimmer, and he's going to bring this one home. And he's going to take the gold medal in a time of 4:57.73. Second place in a great back second half of the race from Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire swimmer. And third place will be Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. Going to be a bit of a gap to our fourth place swimmer, but it is going to be Luke Geraghty from the Clyde. Close for fifth and sixth. Just this side of the pool, it will be Harry Keogh ahead of Fraser Stewart.
Nice to see that the boys progressing from the heat swims into a final. It is one of those events that it is very challenging to be able to progress from your heat time to your final time. So great work from those three boys.
Yeah, and again, it'll be one of the very few times that they've done heat and final in the same day. So great learnings, great things to take away, to discuss with their coaches and to build into strategies as they move forward. Here's your 1, 2, 3 confirmation. James Burnett, Thomas Traynor, Kai Connolly, as our swimmers come on to poolside for our 16-year-old final. Lane 0 will be Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Jake Holmes, also City of Glasgow. Lane 2, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 3, Finlay Davis, Midlothian. Lane 4, Luke Hornsey, East Lothian. Lane 5, Matthew McMillan from Incas. Lane 6, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Lane 7, Fraser Tetlow from Geary. Lane 8, Kyle Mitchell from Geary. And main line, Sean Sy-Griffiths, Warren DeBath, your finalists for the 16-year-old boys 400 metre individual medley. Fastest qualifier here, Luke Hornsey, East Lothian in lane 4, another member of that fantastic relay team that we talked about earlier. Second fastest, Matthew McMillan from Incas.
So we'll probably see the boys here taking it out just a bit quicker compared to the 15-year-old age group. And lane 5, Matthew from Incas, taking it out very strong here actually for this first 50.
Yeah, always goes out hard on the fly, does Matthew. Puts every ounce of energy into every swim. Luke Hornsey might just sit back a little bit in the first half of the race, but expect him to come through strongly. Very strong distance freestyler is Luke. Good IM swimmer as well. Geary boys in lanes 6, 7 and 8. Yellow caps, always strong in the distance events as well. But Matthew's going to take a lead into this backstroke leg. He's certainly gone out very quick, Hannah.
He is, and interestingly, he is breathing every stroke, so for him that could be an advantage, making sure he's not going into oxygen debt. You want to try and reduce that lactic acid production from having your head down, so taking in as much oxygen as you can.
Second place, Kyle Mitchell from Geary down here in lane 8. Third place, Finlay Davis up there in lane 3 from Midlothian with the green cap. Field starting to close up a little bit on Matthew possibly now.
A little bit. It'll be interesting to see what Matthew's race strategy is with this, whether he's going to just cruise this first 50 and then start picking it up on the next 50, or if he is waiting for another strategic move, maybe going into the breaststroke and into the freestyle. But at the minute, it is Matthew still taking charge coming into this turn. He's closely followed by Finlay.
Yeah, Finlay 37.54, the fastest split on that first 50. If he maintains that progress, you could expect him to lead after the second 100. Matthew currently in the lead, but Finlay Davis, the Midlothian swim in lane 3. Starting to come through in lane 4 now is Luke Hornsey. Still there in lane 8 is Kyle Mitchell. Also going well is Calvin MacDonald, the Aberdeen Performance swimmer in lane 2.
As we come into the breaststroke leg, a lot of swimmers tend to slow up going into the turn, so it's really important to maintain that nice high stroke rate going into the wall. Use the momentum going in and coming off the wall going into this breaststroke.
Which Finlay certainly did, I think, in lane 3. 36.8. Now the race will start to shake shape, I think.
Yeah, we'll now start seeing a bit of a change in leaders, as we've got Luke from East Lothian now starting to make a bit of a move, so breaststroke being a bit more of a stronger point for him.
Yeah, Finlay Davis still going well, the Midlothian swimmer in lane 3. But Luke Hornsey bided his time in the first half of the race. Did have the fastest qualification time. We know he's a very strong freestyler, a very strong back-end swimmer. But still close after the 250 mark. Luke 39.48, the fastest split of that first 50. These three boys have pulled away a little bit now.
We're starting to see a bit of a breakaway from the pack. These three boys in the middle now starting to make their move and probably going to be the clear podium winners. We've still got another 100 meters after this one for the freestyle. They're all coming in very closely together.
Yep, still going to be Luke, I think. Finlay, sorry, as they come up to this turnover. Luke Finlay Davis from Midlothian, he's going to lead. But Luke Hornsey breathing right down his shoulder. Third place, Matthew Macmillan. Everything to play for with 100 metres to go.
Lots of white water from these boys, really fighting and battling it out. This last 100 metres, everything will be burning and on fire, all the muscles and oxygen used up from that first 300 metres. But it looks like that Luke is now really starting to take charge over Finlay.
Finley's not going down without a fight though, the Midlothian swim in lane 3. But Luke Hornsey just easing past him up this first 50. And I think we may well see Luke start to go away a little bit down this last 50. Second place, it's been a great swim from Finlay Davis, the Midlothian swimmer. Matthew Macmillan still hanging in there in the bronze medal position for Incas, but that long stroke from Luke Hornsey really starting to draw him away from the rest of the field.
Exactly, it's been a very gutsy swim for Matthew, hanging on for third after going out quite strong in that first part of the race. But it is Luke coming in nice and comfortable into the final 5 metres.
Let's look at his time. It'll be significantly faster, 4:45.15 for Luke Hornsey. Second place for Finlay Davis, 4:48.48. Third place will be Matthew Macmillan, 4:52.46. That's your 1, 2, 3. Luke Hornsey, Finlay Davis and Matthew Macmillan. So well-judged race from Luke. Another swimmer down in Sheffield last week at the British Championships. So won his heat of the 1500, I think, down in Sheffield. So I've been very pleased with that and a nice personal best.
Those swims have given him confidence, and the more swims that they get to do, the more their confidence and learning will build in their race experience and exposure.
Still very young, only in the 16 age groups, another 2 years as a junior yet.
Exactly, a lot more room for improvement and for growth as well.
And our final individual, final of the night. Boys 17-18, lane 0, Owen Carroll, Perth City, lane 1, Owen Williamson, East Lothian, lane 2, Jacob Wood from Elgin, lane 3, Andrew Bertley, City of Glasgow, lane 4, Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow, lane 5, John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance, lane 6, Micah Van Blurk, Warren de Baths, lane 7, Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow, lane 8, Ryan Broadley from Brock, and lane 9, Sam Harrison, Perth City. Your swimmers for the 17-18-year-old boys, 400 metre individual medley.
So we have John Taylor in lane 5, who was not long off the back of the 200 freestyle. For the 400 IM, it's really important to be able to progress and work on each of the 4 strokes in the 200 metres. 400 IM is almost like an extended 200 metre race.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of these boys earlier, and it's the blue caps, lanes 3 and 4, Andrew Bertley in 3, Robert Burgess in 4, teammates at City of Glasgow. Leading this one out, Andrew Bertley, 28.68, ahead of Robert Burgess. Third place for Archie Dixon in lane 7, City of Glasgow teammates. So at the minute it's a City of Glasgow 1, 2, 3.
You can certainly see a great battle coming into effect for the last 100 metres on that freestyle leg.
Yeah, Andrew Bertley and Robert Burgess battled out in the 200 backstroke final, I think, the night before. Very close together. Andrew Bertley, one of our most talented juniors, a member of the junior team, actually swam this event down in Sheffield, actually made the Paris Potential final where he came second in a time of 4:29.43. So I think he's the favourite, but Robert going with him on the backstroke. We know Robert's very capable in the backstroke as well. And Glasgow teammates still up there in third place, Archie Dixon.
So Robert here starting to just creep up on Andrew. But he'll be doing just enough. He'll probably want to draft off Andrew a little bit because both of them are staying very close to each other on the lane line here. But Robert starting to make a little bit more of a move coming into this turn.
Interesting to see how they turn off the wall. Andrew's turns have been pretty good all week. It looks like he's got him. Oh yeah, he's nip and tuck, I think, off the wall that time. These two boys, stroke for stroke, down this second 50 on the backstroke.
Interesting as well, Robert's moved towards the opposite side of the lane, so just to get a little bit away from Andrew, so Andrew can't gain any advantage from that slipstream from him.
Yeah, Robert Burgess having a very good week, the City of Glasgow swimmer. Only 17, so he's got another year as a junior yet. Very promising young man. But Andrew got a race on here with a halfway point.
Nice turn there from Andrew, coming out in front, making use of the good underwater pull out for the breaststroke.
Third place still teammate Archie Dixon in 7. Fourth place going well in 1, Owen Williamson of East Lothian. Breaststrokers will now come to the fore in this 100 metres. There's not much change up front, still very much nip and tuck.
It's really going to come down to this last 100 metres, I reckon. These boys are going to be playing a bit of cat and mouse with each other until the end of this breaststroke. Extra little stroke there from Robert. Gives Andrew just a bit more of an advantage off of that turn.
Yeah, Andrew would like a little bit of a lead, I would suspect, but we know Andrew's a very strong distance freestyler. Robert improving in that area as well, so still everything to play for. These two boys pulling well clear now. Lane 5, John Taylor starting to come through, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow there as well. They're battling out for 3rd and 4th as we speak. But up front, Andrew probably pulled half a body length clear now as they come up to the last turn at this end of the pool. 2 lengths of freestyle left to go.
It is, and again, that white water, considering you've just swum 300 metres at a very strong pace, to be able to hold strong for this last 100 is so challenging. But it is Andrew really taking charge here. Nice, strong kick, consistent stroke rate.
Yeah, but a great swim also from Robert. Robert's entry time in the past, I think 4:43. He might be very close to that tonight, I don't know. But Andrew, coming off the back of a tough week in Sheffield, showing his resilience this weekend. Won a number of gold medals in a lot of the distance events, and he really has now fought off Robert, and it looks like it's going to be another gold for Andrew Bertley, City of Glasgow. Robert's kept in company for 75% of the race. It's just dropped off a little bit, but it's still going to be a good swim for him. The race is on for 3rd between John Taylor in lane 5, Archie Dixon in 7, so we'll keep an eye out on that for the bronze medal. But it's going to be another goal for City of Glasgow's Andrew Bertley, comes under the flags, and he touches in a time of 4:35.02. Second place is Robert Burgess, 4:39.39. I think that's a nice personal best for Robert, so he'll be delighted with that. And John Taylor of Aberdeen Performance comes through for 3rd, and John touches in a time of 4:50.97. Fourth place will be Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow teammate of the top 2. Great race, Hannah, to finish off our individual finals tonight.
Really nice. Nice way to kind of end the individual swims before we head into the mixed 11 to 13 4x1 medley relay.
Yeah, I think we might have some presentations before that. Not sure. Backstroke ledges are going in. It's going to be medals, I think. There seems to be a bit of a disagreement up here on the commentary as to whether it's medals or relays. But I think we're going to go for some medal presentations. These presentations will be done by Ewan Lowe, CEO of Scottish Swimming. Event 406, the boys 400 metre IM. 15-year-old bronze medalist from City of Glasgow is Kai Connolly. 16-year-old age group, the bronze medalist from Incas, Matthew Macmillan. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group from South Lanarkshire, Thomas Traynor. And in the 16-year-old age group from Midlothian, our silver medalist, Finlay Davis. Gold medalist in the 15-year-old age group and Scottish national age group champion from Warren de Bath's James Burnett. And in the 16-year-old age group, our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from East Lothian, Luke Hornsey. And in the 17-18 age group, bronze medalist from Aberdeen Performance, John Taylor. Silver medalist from City of Glasgow, Robert Burgess. And our gold medalist and Scottish national age group champion from City of Glasgow, Andrew Bertley. Well done, boys. All the medalists in the 400 IM deserve a medal. Very tough event, as you commented upon earlier, Hannah.
It's normally one of those hotly debated events. 400 IM, 200 back, 200 fly, or 800 free. Which one's the hard, or 1500 free? Which one's the hardest? I'm a bit biased, and I do think the 400 IM is quite a hard event.
Yeah, I think they're all tough. Being a non-swimmer, 200 fly looks really tough. 400 IM looks really tough, and the distance events just look really long.
Yep.
Anyway, back to our last event of the night, which is event 4 to 8, the mixed 11 to 13-year-old medley relay. So this is going to be fun, keeping track of this. Lane 1, we've got City of Glasgow B. Lane 2, Perth City. Lane 3, City of Glasgow A. Lane 4, East Lothian. Lane 5, Warren de Baths. Lane 6, University of Aberdeen. And Lane 7, North Lanarkshire.
Be interesting to see the strategies for each of the teams, whether they lead off with a girl or lead off with a boy. That's what makes the mixed medley relay quite an exciting race to watch.
Yeah, and one which GB have had lots of success with. Gold medalists in the Olympic Games last year in this event. We've got a real mix of boys and girls leading off. Carl Connolly going first for City of Glasgow in 1. Callum Mackenzie for Perth in 2. Abigail Crawford for Glasgow in 3. Isla Wetton for East Lothian in 4. Caitlin Reid for Warrender in 5. Eva Smith for University of Aberdeen in 6. And Ethan Collins for North Lanarkshire in 7. So we'll see how this race settles down. Fastest entry time, East Lothian 18. Not quite sure where that time's come from, but in lane 4, Isla Wetton going off for them. Going well at the minute is Perth, Callum Mackenzie up there in lane 2. Lane 5, Caitlin Reid for Warrender. And lane 6, Eva Smith for University of Aberdeen.
Looks like the swimmer in lane 7, Ethan, had a little bit of a slip at the start, but he's done incredibly well to catch up and bring the team back into contention here.
Aberdeen Performance leading the way. Eva Smith. Second place, Perth City in 2, City of Glasgow B in 1. 2 middle lanes. Isla Wetton going for East Lothian in 4. Abigail Crawford for Glasgow in 3. Caitlin Reid for Warrender in 5. All going the girls on the first leg, so we'll see if that has any effect as this event plays out. I imagine the next leg we'll see a big difference as we get onto the breaststroke.
So the takeovers are just as important, making sure as well that the takeovers are nice and safe, but you really want to try and get that transition over. So if you taken the lead on the backstroke, you really want to make sure going into the breaststroke your swimmer can take advantage of that lead. So at the minute we've got
Daisy McInnes goes in 2 for Glasgow B, Fraser Dow for Perth in 2, Aaron Machin for Glasgow A in 3, Zara Kravich for East Lothian in 4, Dylan Mitchell for Warrender A in 5, Jessica Kirkwood for Aberdeen University in 6, Riley Griffin for North Lanarkshire in 7. It's a Perth City team. Fraser Dow leading the way. Second place down here in lane 6, I think, for University of Aberdeen Performance. Also going well, Warren de Bassay, Dylan Mitchell. Strong in East Lothian, Zara Kravitz. I think East Lothian are probably favourites for the minute, looking at they've still got to come. But Perth City going to have a lead at the halfway mark with Fraser Dow. Fraser's going to hand over to Emily Thompson.
It's all looking very close at the minute, and again coming into this fly leg we might see another change in the order, but it is Perth City leading the way for now.
Second place for Warrender. So Ciara Finlayson going for Glasgow B in 1, Emily Thompson for Perth City in 2, Daniel Hendry for Glasgow A in 3, Lewis Lothian for East Lothian in 4, Lewis Maxwell Pauls for Warrender in 5, Matthew Piachet for University of Aberdeen in 6, Olivia Russell for North Lanarkshire in 7. It's a Warren de Bass swimmer, Lewis Maxwell Pauls leading the way, still going well for Perth City, Emily Thompson up there in lane 2. East Lothian swimmer in lane 4 catching up Lewis Lothian. Also going well, the Glasgow swimmer Daniel Hendry.
It's getting pretty exciting now. So Perth just hanging on there, but she's being caught up by City of Glasgow and East Lothian.
Warrender leading the way, but just looking at this, I think East Lothian have got Connor Aspinall on the last leg. I still think they're slight favourites, Hannah, at this stage, but I tell you what, Warrender give them plenty to think about. An excellent leg from Lewis Maxwell Pauls, and Warrender will have a nice lead going into this last leg.
Exactly, and they are finishing off with Kate Nolan here.
Kate Nolan going for Warrender in 5, Glasgow second A, going for them Gina Wren, Connor Aspinall for East Lothian in 4, Ella Thompson for Perth City in 2, Kyle Mossman for Glasgow A in 1, Sky Carbunchai for University of Aberdeen in 6, and Lucy Hunt for North Lanarkshire in 7. But up front it's a Warrender swimmer, Kate Nolan, trying to catch her up, Connor Aspinall for East Lothian. In 3rd place, City of Glasgow's Gina Wren with 50 metres to go.
Oh, Connor is just starting to eat away that lead that Kate Nolan had. I think East Lothian is just starting to take ahead of Warrender, but it's going to be a really close finish coming in. Connor's now taking the lead.
Look at the excitement from teammates on the end of the row, willing their swimmer to come through. It does look like it's been East Lothian win. Connor Aspinall looks like he's going to bring this relay home. For Isla Wetton, Zara Kravitz, Lewis Lothian and Connor Aspinall, they're going to win the gold. A great swim in silver from Kate Nolan, the Warren de Bassay team, and the bronze medal is going to go to City of Glasgow A. Gina Wren bringing them home. Close battle for 4th. Just going to go to the City of Glasgow B team. Kyle Mossman for them, Ella Thompson for Perth City A in 5th place. But what a great relay to end up the night swimming.
Really great swim. The lead kept changing from each of the strokes. Really, really nice finish there, and congratulations to East Lothian. We just need to wait and check on the scoreboard for the official results to make sure that we had safe takeovers and nobody's been DQ'd. And it looks like it was a clean final.
Yeah, that official result, East Lothian taking that, 4:51.98. Warren de Bass not going out with a huge fight and a great silver medal for them. And in 3rd place was the City of Glasgow A team. That's your 1, 2, 3. So one last set of presentations to do for that relay. Any highlights from tonight, Hannah, you'd like to pick out?
I'm a little bit biased. I do quite enjoy watching the 400 IM, just because I can personally feel what they're going through as they're swimming it, but also really, really impressed with the boys 200 freestyle and the 100 fly. Very difficult for me to try and pick one race in particular. Just being able to actually sit and watch and take in the event itself. It's quite nice to actually be on the other side now, watching the next generation of swimmers coming through and just celebrating their achievements and what they've gone through. As I say, COVID's not been too kind to them with all the challenges that they face, so each and every one of these athletes is hugely impressive, going through the hurdles. They're so resilient, and they will be better athletes for what they've been through, so hopefully they can keep continuing to progress and enjoy their sport.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take a little time to settle down, isn't it? You know,
Exactly.
Everyone's gone through a huge period of frustration, some coaching changes, I'm sure, pool time down, access to one course pools in particular very difficult, you know, very few galas to be able to get along to. Great to see spectators back this week, which, you know, Edinburgh International last month, I think it was the first time we had spectators back, but good to get spectators in this week. And also I think now that the live stream is becoming more and more popular and more people watching.
Exactly. It's just the little wins that we've got here and just making the most of what we're able to achieve here. As I say, limited pool space and not access to long course facilities. However, these swimmers have done incredibly well with what they've been faced and given. So, you know, hats off to them. They've done a wonderful job, both athletes and the coaches.
Yeah, and the smiles on the faces, particularly the younger swimmers. You could see that in the relay there. The swimmers are watching, they're cheering their swimmers on down that last leg, just willing them to get in as quickly as they possibly can. Big smiles on the faces, face paint, just willing their teams home. Great to see, and particularly our younger swimmers.
I'm loving the face paint. I think it's so cool to see that team spirit and team support is great.
It's getting more and more popular for sure. And I would think tomorrow being the last day, there'll be even more to see. Good smile and thumbs up there as the medalists come forward for this last medal presentation, event 4 to 8, the mixed 11 to 13 medley relay. And what a great race they gave us, they really did. Ewan Lowback, CEO of Scottish Swimming, to make this one final presentation. Let's see if we can get all 12 swimmers on that podium. I did promise you 12 swimmers on a podium, Hannah, before the end of the night. And in third place will be the City of Glasgow A team, which was Abigail Crawford, Aaron Machin, Daniel Hendry and Gina Wren. They'll step forward to get their bronze medals first from Ewan. Silver medalists were Warren de Baths. That will be Caitlin Reid, Dylan Mitchell, Lewis Maxwell-Pauls, who swam an absolutely fantastic third leg on the fly, and Kate Naylor, who very nearly held off that strong challenge from Connor Aspinall. Sometimes think team medals mean even more than individual medals.
Yes, because you're not just up there on your own, you've got your team support and they lift you right the way through the whole race.
Absolutely. And our gold medalists, I think they were favourites, but it's the East Lothian A team. Isla Wetton, Zara Kravitz, Lewis Lothian and Connor Aspinall, worthy champions. Looking very pleased with themselves, and rightly so.
Exactly, can't help but smile along with them. My cheeks are getting a wee bit sore from constantly smiling because they're just so happy to be up there. It's really, really nice to see.
A nice way to end the session, Hannah. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along this afternoon, or this evening as it's been. I know that you are putting a lot back into Scottish swimming, which is great to see. I know you did a workshop earlier today, and I know you've done a lot of work with the clubs during COVID times, which was very much appreciated as well. So a big thank you to you from everyone at Scottish Swimming for everything that you've done as well. And thank you very much for this afternoon and late evening as well.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I've really enjoyed it, and all the best for the swimmers for tomorrow.
Thank you very much. So that concludes tonight's coverage from here at Tollcross. I hope you will agree. Session 12, another very exciting night of finals. We'll be back tomorrow morning with coverage at 8:55 from myself, John Munsey. More importantly, from our guest, Hannah Miley. A big thank you and a big good night, and we'll see you all hopefully tomorrow.